coming up. Lots of stuff for us to get our teeth into. And we know what that means. It means that we need to jump into the official preview. Let me get the chat on screen, and then we will go over there to our official preview. Boom, boom, boom. Lovely. So if we jump over and then on our capture screen, just get NXT. There we go. So here is what we've got in store for tonight. So we've got NXT champion Trick Williams. He is going to address the NXT universe. Now, I'm pretty sure that Ethan Page is going to make his presence felt here. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see. We could get swerved. It could be that we get something a little bit different than that. But I'm expecting Ethan Page. So we've got Trick Williams, we've got Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade are going to speak. Obviously, last week, Cora Jade returning and helping Roxanne Perez. And this was very exciting because that then cost Julia. Julia is going to want revenge. Is this going to lead to some sort of tag match in the short term? Is it lead into Julia and Cora Jade as a feud? What next for Roxanne Perez? We know that Stephanie Vaquer has come out and said, what are you going to do when you win your match and then you've got to face me? So we know that Stephanie Vaquer is around and she could make her presence felt. She could actually be on the show tonight. She's not been advertised, but she did say that she would be around after that match last week. So really genuinely exciting because you've got Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez. You got 4 of the most exciting women in NXT circling around each other. I'm interested to see what that's going to lead to. Then we've got Randy Orton taking on Javon Evans. Briefly touched on that a few moments ago. I think that should absolutely bang. Really looking forward to that matchup. Then we got Fraxiom defending the NXT Tag Team titles against A-Town Down Under. Again, should bang. Really looking forward to it. Then we got Tony D'Angelo taking on Oba Femi. And to be honest, this is the one that I want to try and get. James, shout out to you. James said, and Delta coming in soon as well, which is very true. So I want to get people's thoughts on who wins, who leaves as champion. Is it going to be tonight Tony? We've built him up over a few weeks. So is it that we've built him up because he's going to leave as champion? Or is it going to be Oba Femi that retains once again? Is it time now that Oba, it has become the longest reigning North American champion, which he achieved during, I think it was it the end of last week or just over the weekend? He became the longest reigning North American champion. So now that that's been achieved, is it time to take the title off him, put it onto Tony, and use Oba for the main title? Because Oba being the one to get the belt off Trick would also help explain why we put the belt onto Trick, because Trick Williams is a face, Oba is a heel. I don't know. I think there's definitely a chance, and I'll be. I don't know that I've got Tony as favorite. I'm thinking Oba's gonna retain, but I definitely think Tony's got a chance. He's done this whole Rocky build-up, so there is a chance that the end result is that he gets the job done, much like how Rocky did. So there's definitely a chance for him. And then our final one is Kalani Jordan teams with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill as they take on Fatal Influence. That means tonight we've got Trick Williams, Roxanne Perez, probably Julia, probably Stephanie Vaquer, Randy Orton, Javon Evans, A-Town Down Under, Oba Femi, Kalani Jordan, Bianca, and Jade, and others on a very stacked episode of NXT. So you can see why there's so much excitement. This is not a normal episode. They are really trying to cement NXT on the CW network. They're really trying so that people know that this is on this network. They want people to tune in. And am I right in saying that they're going up against AEW tonight? Am I right in saying that AEW has also got a show on tonight? Is tonight a bit of a Tuesday night war? I genuinely don't know, but I'm sure someone was telling me that that was the case. So if it is, then maybe that just adds a little extra spice to tonight. But yeah, lots going on. Lots going on. I was looking at this as well. Look, State of the Union. I actually haven't seen this. Sean and Triple H have an important message regarding NXT. Should we try and play it? I don't know. Oh, I don't really want to run the risk. If you get caught with copyright stuff on streams, then you can, like, you know, be banned from streaming for a while. So I'm not going to run the risk. What I'll do is I'll retweet it out. So if anyone wants to watch that, then check it out. I actually have not seen it, so I don't know what's in it. But that is been retweeted for anyone that wants to check that out. Randy Orton has arrived. So Randy Orton is in the house. So that's exciting. And there's so much that I need to catch up on. I'm always quite a bit behind when we start our NXT streams. Normally because I stay up super late after Raw, getting up reaction videos and all of that stuff. It means I go to bed late, means get up late, means I'm always a little bit behind. But seems like there's quite a bit of stuff going down at the moment. Obviously, we touched on the Wyatt 6 stuff on the Wrestling Escape Pods. But yes, let's get into the chat. Let's see what the chat are saying. And boom, boom, boom. Lovely. The State of the Union is funny. It's definitely worth a watch, says Alex Bliss Gamer. Anything critical in there? Anything like... I mean, they did... Remember when they did a State of the Union back in the day? I didn't sleep with that woman. We were up all night. So they did, like, DX did a State of the Union, like, back in the 90s, and it was hilarious with China, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. So, yeah, that's, like, I'm guessing, like, a parody of that. It's a big night, said Lisa, for wrestling as NXT and AEW perform a double feature. Let's hope that Timmy Travels is fueled up for his AEW stream. Do you know what? I didn't even mention it to him. It slipped my mind. So I don't even know if he knows that it's on tonight. I don't know if he knows that it's actually AEW tonight. That might be news to him. So I genuinely don't know if he's streaming or not. It's only something that I briefly saw earlier that they were going on tonight, and it looks like they are. Title Tuesday. But listen, NXT is stacked. NXT is stacked. Neither side is going to want to lose tonight. Neither side is going to want... I can't imagine that this is going to be good for AEW changing nights. I can't imagine that this is going to help them. Whenever you move days, you always get disruption. So I can't see them getting above their 680. I mean, on a Wednesday unopposed, they get 680. Now they're moving to a Tuesday and competing against NXT. You know, we could be down in the 5s for AEW tonight. But I'm sure that they will affect NXT as well. I think NXT, if this is a head-to-head, will win this battle. I think NXT will win, like, the ratings war, if there even is a war. I think NXT will get it, but I think, you know, both sides are going to get affected tonight. In many ways, there's going to be no winners, but I would expect NXT to come out with the better number. But I want to be a loyal wrestling fan, but they're always changing stations and subscriptions, says Akeem. Yeah, well, they do it every, 4 years or so? 4 or 5 years, because that's how long they sign their TV deals for. And then when they get to the end of that period, it really comes down to who's going to offer them the most money, because this is how wrestling makes its money now. Back in the day, it used to be house shows. Back in the day, like, you know, and ticket sales, and then, you know, pay-per-view buys. You buy a pay-per-view. Each pay-per-view used to cost like $50, $60. I mean, we are eating so good. You know, we don't have to think about that when it comes to pay-per-views. We don't have to think about, oh my God, this is going to cost me $50, $60. You just tune into the network. So I got to tell you, man, we are pretty spoiled at the moment. But it is true that you do need to keep sorting out your subscriptions and moving things around. And certainly in America at the moment, it's pretty bad, because you need to like have CW Network, you need to have USA Network, you need to have Peacock. You need to have Netflix soon. So you're going to need to have all these different subscriptions so that you can watch the pay-per-views, watch Raw, watch SmackDown, watch NXT. So yeah, it is a bit of a mess. Ideally, ultimately, eventually, everything will go onto Netflix for America. And then, you know, you just have your one subscription. And that's your one-stop shop. But we are eating quite good at the moment, certainly in the UK. No complaints over here, because next year we should have Raw, SmackDown, NXT, the back catalogue, the pay-per-views, everything should be on Netflix for us next year. Which does make me wonder if you lot in America, if you can't just get a VPN and then just subscribe to Netflix, and then you'd have access to everything, wouldn't you? It does make me wonder that if that's not something that would work for you in America or wherever you are in the world. VPN and just subscribe to UK Netflix. I mean, every time I have to watch one of those goddamn VPN adverts, they tend to use Netflix as the example, don't they? Why is a VPN beneficial? Well, it's beneficial because I can watch all my favorite shows on a different Netflix. So, you know, Netflix is always used as the reason to get a VPN. So I've got to think it would work, where then you'd be able to watch everything all in one place. The only thing I don't know, and I keep saying it, is I don't know when SmackDown goes to Netflix in the UK. But I know that as of early January, then Raw, NXT, pay-per-views, back catalogue, it'll all be on Netflix. And then I think there's a chance that SmackDown moves quite early as well. I've just not seen it confirmed. So yeah, food for thought, shall we say? Food for thought. Carl and Dawn, shout out to you, said great tongues from jail, lol. Oh, I didn't know what you meant, but you have corrected it by saying greetings from jail. Carl, shout out to you, my friends. No wonder you were flustered with your first message, because if you are in jail, I can understand that being quite a traumatic experience. So I can understand why you wrote great tongues. But you did then correct yourself with greetings. So, Carl, shout out to you. In my mind, Carl is in prison, in jail right now. And as he's trying to send messages, he's like, oh, because he's so nervous, because he's got like some big dude here staring him down, you know. Where's Dawn? That kind of a thing. Maybe someone from our community, just like, are you Carl? Where's Dawn? Like that. And he's like, oh, great tongues. And it's like, oh, no, I didn't mean to send that. Oh, greetings from jail. So, bless. So, Carl, shout out to you, my friend. I hope you are able to, like, you know, shut out all the noise, all the intimidation, and just enjoy NXT this evening. Spartan said you have to get the right VPN, otherwise they take personal information. Yeah, I don't know enough about VPNs, to be honest. I just see loads of stupid ads for VPNs. It seems to be the most promoted thing on the internet. But yeah, something to think about, you know. I'm sure you can go with the trusted name and you'll be safe. Brony said, no more overruns for NXT now that it's on the CW network, right? I don't believe so. There wasn't one last week, so I don't think there will be any overruns. Which, not a problem. I mean, I don't miss them. I don't need an overrun. It's absolutely fine. So, yeah, no, all good. I'm fine with getting the banging shows that they're giving us. And next week, I think we go back to the Performance Center, and they've redone it all. Like, they've been working on it. So I don't know quite what to expect next week, what that's going to look like. That'll be a big talking point. So looking forward to that, going back and seeing what work they've done. They've changed it all. Just like we have as well. I don't know how I feel about this layout, by the way. Well, the layout's fine, but like the colours, white. I feel like I'm in heaven. So I'm still not certain, but obviously the new colour scheme is like grey, silvery. I suppose I could have silver. Silver's quite tricky to get though, to be honest, but I could find a way of getting it silver. I don't know. It's all right. It'll work for now. It's all right. Just don't get too used to this. We might not keep these colours. I'm not 100% yet. I'm not 100%. But we have moved away from the yellows and the oranges, because that is old news. Right, Joe, Daze, do we think we should get a triple threat at Mania? Rock, Cody, Roman, night 1. Rock versus Cody. Whoever wins faces Roman for the championship. Rock, Cody, Roman, or night 1, Rock, Cody, whoever wins faces Roman for the championship. I would rather the second one. It's tricky. I mean, look, I am not a fan of triple threats. If you give me a triple threat, I will always find a singles match I would rather have. And, you know, I can use many examples. Like, if you said, do you want Becky versus Charlotte as the main event of WrestleMania 35, or do you want Becky, Charlotte, Ronda? I'll take Becky, Charlotte. Or even if you said, do you want Becky, Ronda as the main event of WrestleMania 35, or do you want the triple threat? I would take Becky, Ronda. If you said, do you want a Gunther versus Drew for WrestleMania 39, or do you want the triple threat? I would have took the singles match. Now, that triple threat was great, right? So no shade on that triple threat, but it was, you know, I would have took a singles match over it. I would have took a singles match over what we got at WrestleMania 35. I would have took a singles match over what we got with Roman and Daniel Bryan and Edge. If we could have had Roman versus Edge one-on-one main event in WrestleMania 37, that would have been better. Same with Roman against Daniel Bryan, that would have been better, right? So I will always find a singles match that I would rather have over a triple threat. So that's why I'm just not keen on going for the triple threat. But I understand on a poster it looks amazing. I understand that the match can still bang, because Gunther, Drew, Sheamus was fantastic, right? So I've seen great triple threats. I'm not saying that they don't exist. I can just always find a singles match that I would prefer instead. So if given the choice, I would rather do Cody, Rock, winner faces Roman night 2, or Rock, Roman night 1, winner faces Cody night 2. I don't know that they would do that. I don't know if you're not going too big, to be honest. Imagine Rock, Roman night 1, and then the winner faces Cody on night 2. I mean, if you did that, you could have Solo interfere, costing Roman. That would then mean that The Rock would go to night 2. The only problem you've got then, though, is that The Rock would need to be able to wrestle both nights. And to be honest, I don't know if he can. I don't know if The Rock is able to do 2 nights. So, yeah, for me, if you give me a triple threat, I'll always find a singles match I would prefer. But I do love the idea of us getting Rock, Roman night 1. Winner goes on to face Cody on night 2. I would probably do it where Solo costs Roman and then The Rock works night 2. But I just don't know at his age if he could do 2 big WrestleMania type matches, main events in a row at this point. That's a big ask for someone of his age. And I think you would definitely need plan B in place for that. You would definitely need plan B in case The Rock isn't able to do it. So I don't know. I just keep seeing the poster of the 3 of them on, and I'm just like, yeah, it's a hard thing to turn down, to be honest, because that's money, isn't it? That's money. I mean, imagine if we had ever got Stone Cold versus Hogan versus The Rock around 2002. Imagine if we had 2002, 2003. I mean, you know, Stone Cold is still in at that point. He goes, doesn't he, like WrestleMania 19, so he's still around. And Hogan's, I mean, Rock, Stone Cold, Hogan all compete at WrestleMania 19. So you could have booked it different. You didn't have to book it the way it was booked. You could have done a triple threat with 3 of the biggest stars we've ever had all in the same match. You could have done a triple threat. And that on a poster would have looked amazing, wouldn't it? Match, I don't think would have been better than what we ended up getting, but it would have looked amazing. And that's the opportunity that you've got now, really. Cody, Rock, Roman all in the same match. It's going to look great on a poster. And the match, I'm sure, would be great as well. I mean, I'm sure of it. I'm sure it would deliver. I'm sure it wouldn't stink the place out. I'm sure it would be great. I just always prefer the singles match, that's all. So those are my thoughts on it. We've covered it in detail many times. Kim's Train said 3 changes to NXT tonight. HBK and Sexy Red are going to sing HBK's theme. Axiom is going to be reunited with his dad at Lasertron. And Randy Orton is going to be attacked in the parking lot by Ethan Page. Got to be careful of that parking lot. Although they're not in the same parking lot tonight, are they? They are in St. Louis. But I think the NXT parking lot problem just travels wherever NXT tends to travel. So even if they're not at the Performance Center, you've still got to be very wary of the parking lot. I don't mind triple threats if it's a #1 contenders match to face the champ. I agree with that. But a triple threat for the title between big stars, I'm not a fan. 1 against 1 is better. Dork Knight said triple threats make no sense. Who goes to a bar and gets in a fight with 2 sets of people at the same time? It's unrealistic. Do you know what? I'm in total agreement. Yeah, I don't mind a triple threat for a #1 contender because I think that there is an element of luck to a triple threat because, you know, 2 people can be fighting whilst you're on the outside. You don't know what's going to happen. It's out of your hands. If someone gets smashed and they are out of the match, all of a sudden it's just you against this other person and you've only got to beat that person then. And, you know, it might be the champ that just got smashed. All of a sudden, you don't even need to beat the champ. It is random. It is quirky that you can be in a match where you don't even have to pin or beat the champion to become champion. Is pretty wild. So, you know, there are just little quirks. But, I mean, it's pro wrestling. It's entertainment. It's one of those, isn't it? You know, why so serious? Kind of a thing. So, but I agree. I've never loved them. I think part of it is because I grew up before them, watching wrestling. You go back to the golden era. Go back to like the 80s, early 90s. We didn't have them. We didn't have triple threat. They weren't a thing. We didn't have fatal 4-ways. You're not going to find Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter in a triple threat. Like, it just wasn't a thing. So it is something that I can't remember the first one, to be honest. I'm sure it came in around Attitude Era. So it's something we've had for, like, say, 25 years. But not before that. And so it kind of arrived after. But yeah, you know, listen, on a poster, I get it. It would look really good. Trent said, Daze, you can see some orange in the overlays as that matches CW. Well, that's funny you should say that. I on the review video that I do, and I will do a review for NXT tonight. I know we don't tend to do a review for NXT, but these shows are so big with big main roster stars. We'll do one for NXT tonight. I do actually have a little splash of orange on that thumbnail. So, you are right, I could have a little splash somewhere, but I can't really make this thing orange. That would feel not quite in line. I think, like, you know, I could probably make this NXT orange. I could probably this bit here. I could probably do this. I'm going to do it now. There. You know, just a little gesture. I feel like I could do that somewhere. I don't know how I feel about that. It does feel quite Halloween, though, so I'll probably keep it. So, yes, Trent, you are correct, my friend. And look what you've influenced now. You've influenced this. So, shout out to you. But Daze, the Wyatt 6 have tweeted. What? Another one, a new one. I know they tweeted earlier. They tweeted 2 hours ago. We spoke about it on the web. Oh, you are nothing. You are nothing. Yeah, I feel like this is a bit... Anyone else feel this is a bit harsh? Does anyone else feel like... You know, I know he turned on R-Truth, but he sort of explained why he did. And, like, now he's getting called nothing. You are nothing. Like, you think you're Summer. And, like, it's a bit like, okay, well, maybe let's have a chat with him first. Maybe he's just, like, really in a bad place, you know? Like, people can get themselves into, like, really dark places, really bad places, and they can do stupid things. Maybe we should put the arm around the shoulder and be like, hey, Miz, come on. I know you're struggling, but we can work together. We can find a way forwards. You know, there's a thing here that says, this is what the Wyatt 6, like, referenced. If a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself, right? He is nothing. And now all of a sudden they've tweeted out going, you are nothing. Miz, you're nothing. Who do you think you are? It's like, have we tried going, like, you all right, mate? Hey, yeah, are you okay? Imagine that. Imagine if you had, like, a loved one that went off and did something stupid like loved ones tend to do. And they came back and you weren't like, instead of going, what's going on? Hey, what happened? Tell me, talk to me. You went, you're nothing! Ah! Lisa! I feel like, I don't know if this is quite the right approach, to be honest. I'm not sure that this, I don't know if the punishment quite fits the crime. I mean, look, everyone loves R-Truth. Everyone loves R-Truth. So I can understand. Maybe that is a line crossed. Maybe it's a line. Perhaps you just don't mess with R-Truth. That's the one thing we won't tolerate. If he'd have turned on anyone else, we would be a bit more, come on, mate. Come on, eh? What are you like? What are you like? But because it's R-Truth, not having it, mate. Not having it. There is no way back. He's too treasured. Not having it. I'm just saying they need to be, just, you know what I mean? If we're, I feel like the story is just a little out of sync. It feels a little bit like I always have to get the footage from the shows. I have to get like our stream and I have to match them up, right? And get them in line, right? To do the little reaction clips that I put out. And sometimes I'm struggling to get them to match up, right? Because they don't go on the same thing. I have this recording one and this computer recording the other. Basically, so things don't crash, right? So that I'm not putting so much strain onto one computer. And I have to, like, match them up. I sort of feel like The Miz needs to have done a lot more awful stuff than he's actually done right now to warrant the... I sort of feel like we're not quite in sync. Like, we're reacting to something horrific when The Miz hasn't done anything that horrific yet. Maybe if next week he has his match with R-Truth, beats him, and then starts beating him up afterwards and starts berating him, saying that he's nothing, you know, saying that he's nothing, then, you know, I could understand these messages. It feels like potentially it's like a week out or something. Like, I feel like we're reacting to maybe something that's going to happen next week. I don't know. That's not a spoiler, by the way, because I actually don't know. I genuinely don't know what happens with Miz R-Truth. It's actually been quite good. So far, I've managed to avoid all the spoilers, not been sent stuff, not looked for anything, so I genuinely don't know what happens. But, yeah, it's fun, isn't it? We'll see. Yeah, nothing. So, I just think this is pretty wild. Oh, new setup for tonight. What's this? There is, look, big stage. Oh, this is kind of fun. Is this a theatre? Because that looks like a stage, doesn't it, where bands play. So it looks like we're going to walk down this entranceway. Yeah, it's got a different vibe. I love this. I wish wrestling did more of this. I'm so bored of generic arenas. I love seeing wrestling going to some different spaces. That's my love of the Manhattan Center coming through. I love the fact that we're doing something a bit different, and this is not going to feel like every other flipping arena. So let's go. Let's go. I'm excited by that. I'm excited by that. Lisa said, breaking news, a nuclear livid Tony Khan has shouted a new announcement about his show where he sets a record of saying tonight multiple times in his announcements. Well, Lisa, I gotta tell you, I just don't care about NXT tonight. I didn't even know they were on tonight. I'm not interested. I don't care what they're doing. I don't care what Tony's thinking. I'm so dialed into NXT. I'm just not. Well, let them do what they're going to do. I think, you know, that really is something we learned from the Attitude Era. It's something I've learned from the Attitude Era. Mind your own lane. Mind your own lane. Look after yourself. Focus on yourself. Any sort of external noise is of no benefit. So, you know, if I'm WWE tonight, I'm just focused on what I need to do, putting on the best show possible. I know I've got a stacked cards. I know that I've got some great matches. I mean, Randy against Javon is going to be great. And I'd imagine that Fraxiom are going to bring the excitement. I'd imagine that we're going to have like Julia and Stephanie maybe. Like, if I'm WWE, I'm dialed into that. Whatever AEW are doing, whatever Tony's doing, whatever matches they've got plans, God bless them. But I'm very much focused on my own lane. And we learnt that in the Attitude Era. Because as soon as WWE stopped being petty and stopped doing the billionaire stuff, you know, the skits, as soon as they stopped doing that and fake Diesel, I mean, they were taking shots at WCW and it was awful. Fake Diesel, fake Razor, taking all these little like shots, and they were too busy looking over in like what was happening over there rather than looking at what they were doing. As soon as they started looking at what they were doing, here comes Stone Cold, here comes The Rock, here comes the ratings. So WWE just need to focus on themselves. Dean, shout out to you, said, I don't think it's Miz directly. He's definitely collateral damage. I think the Wyatt Six are referencing Final Testament specifically. Well, that would make more sense if they were talking to Karrion. But I don't know. Are they talking to Karrion because they've seen him getting in people's ears? And they're basically trying to say to Karrion, you are nothing. I hope it is Karrion. It feels a bit too harsh to be the Miz. So I hope it is Karrion. But even has Karrion really done anything that wrong at the moment? He's kind of gone around and said, you deserve better, really. And, I mean, to be honest, I think the Miz does deserve better than, like, you know, kind of what he's been doing in the Awesome Truth. I mean, you know, listen, he shouldn't have attacked R-Truth, but I think that's his frustration that's kind of boiled over, you know. But I don't know. Even Karrion hasn't really done anything that terrible in my eyes. He's had a few words. He's a bit. I can understand him being called a snake in the weeds, a serpent in the weeds. I get that. But like, you are nothing. You are nothing. Seems really harsh. But listen, let's see. Let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes. So yeah, Dean, shout out to you. You could be correct, my friends. It could be aimed at Karrion and the Final Testament. Kross is just talking facts, says James. Yeah, yeah. I think Miz does deserve better than being a sidekick in some comedy kind of tag team, you know? I don't know. We'll see. Just a bit, it's nothing serious. It's just a bit of fun. Like, it's not a problem. I'm super excited for this feud, and we'll see kind of where it goes from here. But definitely, Final Testament Miz very much feel like the targets, don't they? Right. I think, if allowed, Karrion and Bo could cut some incredible promos, said Nita Nitro, together. That is Karrion's strong point. I agree. If you look at his... videos that he puts out, I mean, they're just so captivating. I got tagged in one that was 6 minutes long, and I mean, it's bad, but I was like, The problem with 6 minutes is that there's no way I can really put that in unseen. It's too long. And, like, how much do you need to say for a 6 minute promo? So, people were telling me, you've got to watch it. It's so good. And I was like, 6 minutes. 6 minutes, well, it's nearly 7 minutes, like 6 minutes 49 or something. So I'm like, go on then. I started watching it and I was like, open mouthed. I mean, it's incredible. It's a mini movie. There's large parts where he doesn't talk and he's just riding in the desert on his Harley, and he looks so cool, and the music sounds so good, and I'm just looking at it like, what is this? Looks like it's been produced by WWE. Like, there's drone shots in there. Honestly, he's riding on his bike and there's drone shots of, like, following him. It looks so good. And the stuff he says when he is talking is like asking you, how far would you go to become the person that you want to be? Would you travel to the middle of nowhere? Would you ride for hours on end to find that missing piece of you that you know will make you complete? And he's like, I am. And like, you're just, it's so captivating that I was like, just watching it, I was blown away. He is a special talent, because honestly, there's not many people that I think could do those types of promos and keep my attention. Keep me captivated. Every time he talks, he seems to say something of significance. Every time he talks, it's very rare that I see a Karrion promo and I come away from it going, no, that wasn't worth my time. He normally says something where you go, wow, yeah, that's interesting, or I didn't think about that, or wow, I see what he's trying to do there, or do you know what I mean? Like, he's always got... He doesn't waste your time, and I really appreciate that. Every time you click on a Karrion promo, you can go into it with confidence that you're going to get something from it. And honestly, that is really special, because there's so many promos that I see on Raw Talk and stuff where you can tell they've been asked to do a promo. You know, we're going to use you on Raw Talk. You know, we'll just kind of have a chat about where your head's at the moment. And you can tell they're like, okay, yeah, no problem. Camera rolls and they're like, well, I'll tell you what, I'm super excited for next week. Such and such, I'm coming for you. You better not think this is over. Blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? It's so generic. It's so missable, skippable. Nothing's really being said. Nothing's being added. Nothing makes you think. It's just... Wrestling 101, you know? It's lowest common denominator. It's the kind of promo that we could all cut in our sleep. Yeah. That's not Karrion. Karrion always... It's as if Karrion sits down and really thinks about, what do I want to convey? Where am I? What's my frustration? He does... there was another promo he did recently where he talks about his career in WWE and about how he was betrayed by everyone in the locker room because they could see he was struggling when he got called up. They could see that he needed help and no one helped him because he was a threat to their spot and they wanted him out. They wanted him gone. Well, he's back now and he's coming for all of their spots. Do you know what I mean? That's not Wrestling 101. That's not lowest common denominator. that is someone taking you on a mental journey through with their promos. So talented. Honestly, I've got a lot of time for Karrion Kross. I really do. And we just don't see him, do we? We just don't get to see him on the show. But you want to talk about someone that's really trying to maximize the time they do get. Reminds me a lot of Dijak in the sense of Dijak was constantly online, constantly having fun with the fans, ratioing, stuff like that. Might not be on TV every week, but he had made a brand, he'd got a presence. We spoke about him in Unseen. Even if he wasn't on the show, he'd somehow get into the conversation. Karrion's like that. I think there is a group of people that understand this is a business and you've got to make your own opportunities. You're not going to get handed opportunities sometimes. You're not going to make it onto the show sometimes. You're not going to get the booking that you want sometimes. So how are you going to take opportunity? How are you going to get into the conversation? Do you know what? They might not give you a promo. Well, go online and make a promo. Say what you want to say. And he is brilliant at that. So, yeah, I could sit and swoon about Karrion Kross. I'm really excited for this feud with the Wyatt Six. I think it's going to be a big test for Bo, a big test. Because he's going up against someone that's going to bring all of that charisma, all of those promo skills, all of that knowledge of how to get in the conversation, how to be the conversation, how to lead the conversation. I would not fancy trying to go up against Karrion Kross in a promo battle. I wouldn't fancy it. I mean, listen, I wouldn't fancy trying to go up against most superstars because they're very highly trained. But after watching wrestling for a long time, you do sort of think like, oh, I would have said this, I would have done that. I would have, like, you know, I feel like I could, you know, probably I couldn't, but I feel like I could hold my own against a few superstars, right? I think that I can think on my feet. I think that I've got some lines I can pull out. I think I could do something, right, against some superstars. But I look at Karrion and I'm like, I think he'd murder me. I think he'd murder me. Because I think he does his homework. I think he thinks about things in advance. I think he's got a really good understanding of his character and what he wants to convey. And I think that he could tie you up in knots. I think it's going to be a real test for Uncle Howdy. A real test. Unless Karrion just plays ball and just kind of does not, you know, like, if he tries to upstage Bo, I would worry for Bo. But if he plays ball and is like, listen, I'm a company man, let's sit down, you say this, I'll say this, and they map it out together, which is what I hope they do, then, you know, we could get a fun feud out of it. But if Karrion wants to prove a point, like, not go rogue, but just, you do your promos, I'll do mine, and, like, you know, let's bring them both to the table. This is going to be a challenge for Bo. It's going to be a challenge for the Wyatt Six. But that's what we want, isn't it? Don't we want them to be tested? We don't want them to just steamroll through people. We want them to be put into some awkward situations that they're going to have to overcome. And listen, this could be one of them. This could be one of them. He's a very, very witty, very smart guy. Yeah, great feud. I'm really excited for it. Just want to respond here because I've just got to send this out. Stay safe. Thoughts are genuinely with the people of Florida at the moment. Florida is a place that's really close to my heart because I've been there so many times. And it's weird because there's quite a few places that I've been to in Florida. I've been to Miami, I've been to Tampa, I've been to Clearwater, I've been to Orlando, I've been to NXT shows in, you know, various different places. And I think there was one that was called Crystal Springs or something. Obviously, I know about, like, Brooksville, where Bray was from, and I just know, like, areas in Florida. It's easily the place I know the most about, or, yeah, abroad. Like, of all the places abroad, Florida is the place I you know, it's like a second home. I've been there not that many times, only about 8 times or so, but that's quite a lot to go back to the same place abroad, like 8 times. I love it. I think if I was to move anywhere, I would move there. And so, you know, to hear of what they're facing right now is... it was great to talk to Mitchell, actually. I don't know if Mitchell's around, but it was lovely to talk to Mitchell. It was such a shame that I couldn't like directly talk to him. I was having to talk through Tommy, and Tommy was not doing the best job of relaying my words. But yeah, Mitchell was just on the Wrestling Escape pod, was chatting to him, and he said it's like a zombie apocalypse is coming in his neighborhood. He lives in Florida, and he was saying like, you know, the windows and doors are all boarded up in his neighborhood, and it's like a ghost town. And they've said, like, if you're in the path, get out, move, leave. It's bad. He said that he's known of a couple of storms that are, like, potentially worse. We don't know yet until it hits, of course. But this is, you know, absolutely one of the worst storms that Florida has ever faced. So big that it is news over here. It's been reported. It's on the BBC website, and, you know, it's on our news, like, how bad this thing looks. And I love Florida. I love Florida. I mean, I'm praying for everyone. I hope everyone stays safe, and I hope that Florida pulls through it. I really do, because I love that place. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, said Great Grand Trini. That's okay. That's okay. I think people your age do tend to gravitate towards bad news. I think it's because, like, you can see the end of the road coming and there's not really much joy left. So I don't really expect anything different, to be honest. But let's see what Great Grand's saying. Great Grand said, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. It's all right. But as I predicted previously, my American friends, be careful of another hurricane. Okay. We were just saying that, actually. We were just saying that. Follow Milton, as 2 are forming off our coasts. What? So you've got something forming around your... That sounds wrong, doesn't it? You've got something forming around your area. Yeah, it's hurricane season, isn't it? I mean, I know that Trinidad gets it bad as well. So it seems to be especially worse this time, doesn't it? I know that we get bad storms, but honestly, I don't remember them being like this bad previously. I mean, that's me. I'm in the UK. I'm only judging by what I see. But yeah, this is being reported, you know? It's being reported over here, and that is not normal. So stay safe, everyone. Stay safe, please. Make sure that you are not taking things for granted. But then I would imagine if you live in those areas... You know this. I'm pretty sure you don't need me to tell you that. I'm pretty sure there's not people in those areas going, it'll be all right. I'm sure they've lived through this enough now to know what they need to do. Lisa said, what would you say is the worst pay-per-view stage setup? The worst pay-per-view stage setup? Well, to be honest with you, I really appreciate when they do stage setups. So I think it's really difficult to name a worst, because certainly, you know, for the longest time now, they've not been doing special stage setups. Really, it's only WrestleMania that we've been getting those. So you've really got to go back in the day. But that was always, like, my favorite part was, like, seeing the stage setups, like the different stages. I mean, we had some brilliant ones, didn't we, with King of the Ring being like an electric chair. We've had like the White House for Capital Carnage. I remember like different Armageddons being like war zones and stuff. And we've had loads and loads of, like, there's been a giant PC where you came out through like the computer, right? For like, I think that was Cyber Sunday. So we've had loads of different ones. I mean, maybe that you would look back on now and be a bit like, it's a bit cringe. Coming out of like a computer is a bit cringe, but equally, they're so bonkers that you would look at them and go, God, I wish we did that now. Instead of it just being like, I mean, really, we don't have much of a set at all. they go in a very different direction now, which is we want to get as many people in as possible. And so really now we just have like a really low screen, don't we? I mean, looking at what we did at the weekend, I mean, there was next to no kind of entranceway there. I mean, it was a bit more than what you would get at, say, SummerSlam or something, or the Rumble. Even the Rumble, think about the Rumble. I mean, you'd think the Rumble would have a massive screen, big countdown clock, you know, and then bang, here's the graphic of who's coming out. Like, you'd think they would go huge for the Rumble because it's all about who's coming out next. Massive countdown and all that. But nah, I mean, they don't. They go the other way, and it's like really small screen. You can see, obviously, they've got screens dotted around, but it's only like a small. They do them in baseball grounds, don't they? So they've gone completely the other way. So really, like, you look back and you look at, like, in your house and the house setup, which I love, but, you know, some people have got complaints about. I just miss them all. Halloween Havoc, when we used to have, like, all that stuff in WCW. I wish we went to, like, the beach, you know, like Hog Wild, where we had all the people on the bikes in WCW, or, you know, Bash at the Beach, or, you know, you go to different places, like... I miss all of that fun. I think that is a big thing that's missing. I think that's a big thing that's missing. I don't know why we have to keep going and doing largely the same thing again and again and again. I would love to... I think that, you know, the first Nitro being at a shopping centre, Mall of America. It's cool, isn't it? And, you know, Shotgun Saturday night being one of them at a Subway. Not the restaurant, but like actually Undertaker, Triple H fighting around, I forget what it was called now in New York. Central Station, was it? Is it Penn Central Station? I can't remember. But like fighting in a station, it's like, I don't know. I just think that we could do stuff like that a little bit. Even if it's just once a year, just give me something. So yeah, I can't really be too critical on him. I really always appreciated the effort. Daze, would you be down for Wade versus Drew at Mania, said Brony? Oh, definitely, but yeah, I'd love it. I would have both Drew and Wade enter the Rumble. Wade eliminates Drew and then build to... I like that, Brony. Yeah, I like that a lot. I would definitely do that. I'd be a big fan of Wade getting back in the ring. I think that Wade, Nick Aldis, and Adam Pearce, I would love to see all of them compete. Very similar to Nigel McGuinness. Like, I know I said I'm not interested in AEW tonight, and I'm not, right? But I think seeing Nigel McGuinness come back was fantastic. I've got to give them their flowers for that. Brilliant to see him having another match, and maybe his last match. I mean, if that is his last match, and his last match is a losing effort against Daniel Bryan, then that, I think, is a great way to round out your career. And you know, it's great that he could do that one final match. And I'm not saying that like Adam Pearce needs one final match, or Nick Aldis needs one final match, or Wade Barrett, but I feel the same. They are people in a wrestling company that are not in wrestling positions that can still do at least one more match. In Nick Aldis's case, he could be an active wrestler. In Nick Aldis's case, he could be absolutely in the mix. You know, you're talking about a very recent NWA champion, someone that wears sharp suits, can cut great promos, he can have great matches. Like Nick Aldis, it doesn't make any sense why he's a GM. Honestly, he could be contributing. I suppose the truth is they just don't feel like they need him. They just don't feel like there's a place for him. The only thing I would say, though, is, you know, no disrespect to Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne is not on the bigger side of guys, you know, he's a smaller guy. He put on a banger with Sheamus. But I don't know. If you want that kind of... If you want, like, someone to go up against Sheamus, why could it not have been Nick Aldis? Nick Aldis against Sheamus in a Donnybrook match... I can't. I mean, I'm not aware of any injury that's keeping him on the sidelines. So genuinely, I don't know. I don't know why we can't have Nick Aldis like competing. he could have been in that Donnybrook match. And size-wise, he's got a little bit more size to him than what even Pete Dunne had, you know? Pete Dunne's an active wrestler. And a great one as well. No shades. I just don't get it. I don't understand. Nick Aldis has got so much he can provide. So, yeah, I'd love to see Wade have at least one more. But I'd love to see Aldis. And I'd love to see... Oh, here we go. I'd love to see Aldis. And I would love to see Adam Pearce as well. Perhaps we can just have WrestleMania full of non-wrestlers. Let's get Kathy Kelly against Jackie Redmond. Right, here we go, friends. Spaz said, hydration check, please. I love what you do for the community. Well, I don't actually have anything. Oh, I do have a bottle of water here, actually. From Yorkshire. Yorkshire spring water. Let's go. Tastes like whippets. Tastes like pudding. There's Randy. So, shout out to you, Spaz. And Sam said, everyone in the chat needs to acknowledge Solo. Yeah, I'm acknowledging the young OG. Javon Evans. We're seeing him earlier today. Big night for him. There is the NXT champ, Trick Willie. Go on, Trick. Go on, Willie. Look at him with his NXT championship belts. Let's go. Do you remember when Wade hosted the Hall of Fame? I'm afraid I got some bad news. He didn't host it. I think he just made a brief appearance. When he said, I've got some bad news. This is the closest any of you are going to get to the Hall of Fame. That was brilliant. They cut to Dolph Ziggler in the crowd, who was just in bits. Kathy Kelly is a trained wrestler, apparently. Her finisher is a swinging DDT. She's a trained wrestler, is she? She's wrestled. I didn't know she'd ever wrestled. Brony said, I'm going to predict tonight's show will be about 700, 750. Anything higher is a very good number. I agree with that. Brony said, I acknowledge the real tribal chief, OTC. Evans will be the face of WWE, said Austin. Hello, Austin. Sam said, that's a dub for Daze, acknowledging Solo. Honestly, I'll acknowledge anyone at this point. Daze, what is your favourite WCW Halloween Havoc? Well, the one that always comes to mind, of course, is the one that had Ray and Eddie Guerrero. That's obviously the highlight, if you will. So I'd be looking around that kind of period. It's like, I want to say, was that 97? 90? I think it was 97. Here we are, look, we're inside the arena. Who's coming out? I feel like we might get a big open again with Sean or someone. Trick! Yes! This reminds me, I know a lot won't have seen it, but there was a show that we did, a live, I don't know if it was an episode of NXT actually, really, probably going back a good 8 years, and we had like Samoa Joe and Finn Balor, and I think there might have been a title change. It reminds me so much of that. Because that, I believe, had a stage and a ramp and a different kind of layout. This, oh my God, I love this. It's so got like a Manhattan Center feel. I love this. Trick Williams. Put some respect on this man's name, says Booker. Oh, that trick. Oh, hello. One Trick Pony sign in the crowds. Trick Williams coming out. Some great shots, though. A smaller venue than we were hoping for, but it looks great. It looks great. This would be a really fun show to be at, actually. St. Louis, there's people on the entrance stage. We got Sexy Red in the back. We're in new cities. We're on a new network. Call me tricky 2 times. Tricky 2 times. Crowd chanting, whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. It is a nice belt. It's a much better belt. Oh, who's interrupting? Is that going to be Ethan? Oh, is that Wes? Wesley is up in the stands. Are we going to get one of those moments where loads of people come out? It's got that vibe, you know? I've shed some unnecessary weight. Wesley wants to be a Triple Crown champion. Hold on there, light skin. Is that racist? Is this racist? Is that racist? Whoa, 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 light skin. Is that what he would say to me? Trick, you ain't it. I'm going to take that championship away before you even get comfortable. Oh my God, no way! No way! No way! Oh my God! We knew he was on the show. They announced it last night, but oh my God, Jey Uso coming out with Trick Williams in the realm. Oh my God, I can't cope with this. Oh my God. Oh my God. This dude is so over. He's got serious star power. Oh my God. Ah, Trick and Jey together. Oh my God. I didn't even think about... Oh my God. This... Yeet. Wow. Wow. Oh, this is so good. Oos. Day one is just me. Oos. Light them all up. Knock them down like this. Let's go. Let's go. Trick is so over in NXT. Jey is so over in the universe. There is some serious levels of popularity in the ring right now. Main event, Jey Uso is now in your city. This feels so special. Yeet. I know you're tired, but I know we look good. Yeet. Yeet. Yeah, good there by Trick. We've got to whoop that trick. Oh, whoop that trick. Yeet, whoop that trick. Yeet, whoop that trick. Yeet, whoop that trick. Yeet. Are we just going to do this for 2 hours? Let's go. Let's go. Whoop that trick. Yeet, whoop that trick. Yeet. It hasn't led anywhere. We haven't got a match or anything, but we just got what Vic Joseph called a moment. We just got a moment. That was fun. I didn't know how they were going to use Jey, but bringing him out at the start with Trick Williams. Shame it's not led to anything, though. It would have been good if, like, that set up a tag match, you know, or something like that, but... Trick Williams is ready for the main roster. He can hold his own, said Mr. B. Trick's mic skills are good, said Brony. It's an OMG moment. Yeah, do you know, it's funny because when we think about big stars and big names, here's Kalani. You know, you think about Randy, you think about Cody, you think about Becky, you think about those kind of names. I don't ever think to myself about Jey Uso. But he's so over. He's so over. He's so popular right now. He's always up there with, like, highest merch sales, you know? Here we go. Jade Cargill. Where she belongs. Kalani, Bianca. Jade. Pure. No, it's not Pure Fusion Collective, is it? It is. This place is shaking. It's a hell of a start, isn't it? Trick Williams, Wesley, Jey Uso, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill. Jesus. Imagine being at this show. Imagine being in St. Louis and not going to this show. Couldn't be me, mate. Couldn't be me. Well, it probably would, actually. I'd be streaming. Neither you at all. Yes, Queens. Everywhere I look, Queens. Jay's still in the ring. Trick's still in the ring. Are they lost? Are they confused? What's happening? Look at this star power. Jey, Trick, Jade, Bianca, Kalani. Jesus, what's going on? We're showing up. We're showing out. Look at this. Jey in the ring applauding. Why haven't they left the ring? I don't know what's happening. I thought they would have been gone. Are they competing? What's happening? I'ma watch you fall down. Trick and Jey still in the ring. In all fairness, if Jade and Bianca and Kalani were heading to the ring, I'd stick around as well. Respect. Wrestling fans said commercial break. Aubrey said, I just can't believe how over Jey Uso is. Do you know why? Because he's fun. He's charismatic. You know, he's got these brightly coloured shirts. He's always having fun with Jackie backstage, talking about Waffle House. He's got his kid. He's been in WWE for so long. Usos are arguably the greatest tag team in WWE history. I think I would have them as number one, you know. I think I'd have the Usos for everything they've achieved, everything they've done as number one. The competition would be Legion of Doom, Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys, maybe Edge Christian, maybe New Age Outlaws, maybe New Day. But I think I've got Usos over all of them. And then you know, the drama of the whole bloodline story is definitely benefited from that. Roman Reigns shine, you know, being associated with Roman, being in the bloodline. You know, he's main evented things like SummerSlam. It's one of those, isn't it, where Jey, I don't know why, because I think it's because he's not won a world title. Don't see him as being Randy. He's not Randy. He's not Undertaker. He's not Cena. He's not Cody. He's not Roman. He's not that level. He's not been a world champion. We haven't seen him being the guy. He's going to get there, though. He's going to be a world champion. I've no doubt about that. He is shifting merch like no one's business. Yeah. But then you see him in the ring here and you're like, God, it just makes so much sense. Why have we not had Jey Uso down in NXT sooner? There's a storm coming, said Felix. I still think Solo should have won at SummerSlam, said Sam. I'd put Usos over New Day, said Austin. Akeem said, this isn't even like the NXT roster. Well, we're doing what we can, aren't we? I mean, we are definitely relying on some main roster stars, because obviously this move to CW Network is a big move. Last week we had CM Punk, for example, and obviously Jade, Bianca making their presence felt last week. So we knew that we were getting Randy this week. They added Jay last second. Jade Bianca was set up last week as well. Sexy Red we knew would be on the show. But yeah, they're doing it. I'm guessing some of it, Jay might have been added because of AEW. But some of it is because, you know, we're trying to really establish NXT on the CW network. But listen, Trick, Wesley, we're about to see Fatal Influence. NXT stars are here. They're not just solely relying on main roster stars, but it is true. We are leaning on them quite heavy for these few weeks. I wonder if we'll get anyone next week. It'll be a hell of a drop-off if we don't get anyone from the main roster next week. At CW Sports, Saturday, Georgia Tech versus North Carolina. NASCAR, Charlotte, Royval. Jay is improving in the ring. His match with Braun was really good, says Alan. Okay, so I think Fatal Influence are about to make their way down to the ring. Okay, here's Fatal Influence. So this is JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Jasmine Nix. I think her surname is. This is quite the test for them, isn't it? There's Jasmine's good. Come here. No, go away. I do love that. Come here. No, go away. Change my mind. I wish they were wearing the same ring gear. I still don't quite understand why they've not got onto the same page in that regard. Even Kalani, Bianca, and Jade are all in, like, purple. So this is going to be our first match then, our opening contest. Kalani, Bianca, Jade taking on Fatal Influence. Next week, NXT will get Hacksaw, Jim Duggan, Sergeant Slaughter, The Barbarian, and Haku. Let's go. Let's go. Boom, big shot. She's got a posse with her. And what a posse it is. Kalani has got a fantastic posse. I like that she does that to the camera too, said Austin. Fatal is the PFC of NXT. I don't disagree with that, to be honest. Right now, we've got... they're looking to slam them down. Triple slam. We've got Bianca, Jade, and Kalani all working in unison. This is so great for Kalani. Oh, we're seeing Femi. Femi backstage. Warming up. Getting ready. Kalani. Grabbing Jasmine. I say I went to an NXT house show. Jasmine was really, really good. She's in the wrong part of town right now as Bianca grabs Jasmine's going to look to... oh, look at that by Bianca. Doing some squats with Jasmine. She went to slam her down. Shoulder tackle there by Bianca. Fallon Henley goes down. Bianca posing away. Gesturing away. Bianca in the corner goes up over Fallon. Bianca over the other side. She's really showing out, isn't she? Fallon goes over. Moonsault by Bianca into a shoulder tackle. Loads of gesturing by Bianca. Like, it's literally every 5 seconds. We got a bit of this. We got like the squat thing she did. She's just been like this to the crowds. Another moonsault there by Bianca. JC has got Bianca's hair. Clothesline. Looking for a suplex, is she? She's got her up. Boom. Suplex. Now a kip up. Into a, come on, everyone. Even a little, come on. Against the ropes. Handspring. Moonsault. Lands it. Goes for the cover. Smile on her face. Kick out. This is, you know, when we talk about, like, the WWE style and people are like, oh, they don't need to go to NXT. They know how to wrestle. Yeah, but do they know to engage the crowd, like, every 5 seconds, like Bianca's doing? Like, constantly, like, keeping the crowd involved, you know? So many different styles of wrestling. So many different companies have different expectations. Like, what is the WWE expectation for a wrestler? I mean, maybe it's not to engage the crowd quite as much as Bianca does, but in keeping the crowd involved is so important. That even on the flipping outside of the ring, she's like... She's joining in with the crowds, against the ropes, round the back. Bulldog there by Jasmine. And then you've got Fallon playing to the crowd, Bianca coming in, Jade coming in. Kalani thrown to the outside. This thing breaking down a little bit as JC cannonballs onto Kalani. Referee trying to hold Bianca and Jade back as we go to commercial break. Amin said, Daze, I watched Bad Blood yesterday and I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed Raw today. Very good. Very good. I thought it was a good show. Daze, women's tag champs can literally show up on NXT whenever they want, but they forgot. I know. Well, we forgot about women's tag teams, didn't we, really? It's still surprising that we got rid of the NXT women's tag team championship. So, yeah, I think like the fact that we didn't bring in or keep those belts is a bit of a head scratcher. Good evening. Oh, Gary, hello. Shout out to you. Mitchell says, Daze, I think NXT is... Oh, Mitchell. Mitchell, shout out to you. It's lovely hearing from you earlier, buds. I think that'll be a good episode next week on the web, getting people to call in. I'm looking forward to that. I think NXT is going to hurt for some ratings in Florida. We can't watch because the coverage is being interrupted by hurricane. Do you know what? That's really interesting because I think you're right. I think a lot of their fan base is going to be in Florida. I mean, that's where they are. And that's where they do their live events. So I think you make a really good point that could be a bit of an issue for them. I've got to think that if we were to look at a heat map, I've got to think that is where the most of their fans would be based. Days Raw looks stacked next week, said Word of Wrestling. I've not seen, honestly. The only two matches that I'm aware of are the women's tag match, which is Jade Bianca Damage Control, and Miz R-Truth. Is there another match I know of? I feel like there might be another match I know of. I don't know. I've avoided spoilers. J&B said, I've tagged you on something on X and it made me chuckle. It's a long-term plan by The Miz. Well, to be honest with you, bud, I am absolutely flipping drowning in notifications. I said earlier, the problem I've got is that with Raw, I do Unseen After, or Wyatt 6 video. Then, of course, I do the review. Then I always try to put up about 4 or so reaction things. Then I try to get caught up with my notifications. Like, by the time I get to go to bed, it's easy, like 1 p.m. So Raw will finish about you know, normally 4 a.m. and I won't get to bed till 1 p.m., like lunchtime, after lunchtime. But that then means that I don't get up till 9 p.m., something like that. By the time I've had dinner, something to eat, and I've set up the Wrestling Escape Pod and the NXT streams, I'm just out the loop. I get probably 10 minutes or so, 20 minutes to try and catch up on like the key news. But I'm so behind. I've got hours and hours and hours and hours. I mean, I couldn't show you actually. This is like 3 hours ago. So I always like the post so that I know where I've got to. But like none of these have been liked. None of this has been liked. I've got all of this after NXT that I need to try and go through to pick out the bits and the bobs. Look at all these. There's no likes. There's no flipping likes. So I've got to try and get through all of this. So that I've got stuff in unseen. Still it goes. 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 JC going for the pin. Still it goes. Still it goes. We'll get to a like in a second. Hang on. Couple of kicks coming in there by JC. We'll get into one. Hang on. There we go. That's where I got to. Oh no. Oh yeah. No, I've still got to do a bit here. No, we'll come back to it. Hang on. Working on Kalani going for the kick. Here. I got to here. That's it. I got to this bit here. Ouch. So yeah, I've got quite a bit of stuff that I need to go through. And that was starting from 3 hours ago. So I've got whatever's been sent in the past 3 hours as well. So if anyone wonders why Unseen is always like super late after the shows, it's because I have to go through all that. Which is no problem. But it just takes time. JC back in the corner. Jasmine gets him. Here's Jade's big shot. Hot tag. Big shots. Down goes JC. Down goes Fallon. Spine buster there by Jade's. Oh, backbreaker to Fallon. Jasmine comes over. She gets caught by Jade's. She's being paraded around. Boom! Fall away slam. Kip up by Jade's. Jade's playing to the crowds. Jade pointing over at Jasmine. Big splash. Going over the other side. Big splash. She grabs Jasmine. Picks her up. Oh, massive choke slam. Massive. Huge by Jade's. That's a good sequence there by Jade's. Bianca up and slam down on top of Jasmine, but Fallon makes the save. Oh, super kick by Jade's. Net breaker though by JC. Kick to the midsection by Kalani. Referees lost control of this one. Kalani is going up top. Moonsault into the outside. She comes crashing down. Bianca looking out the ring. Jasmine ducking underneath. Love that kick by Jasmine. That Pele kick by Jasmine. Brilliant. Brilliant. She does that so well. She does that so well. You don't see great Pele kicks in pro wrestling so much. There's not many people that do them. AJ Styles has got a great one. Ah, Jasmine planted face first. Kip up there by Bianca. Tags Jade. Jade gets into the ring. Bianca with Jasmine. Oh my God. Drives her down. Oh. Into a suplex. That's going to result, I think, in Kalani maybe putting this one away. Split leg moonsault. There it is. 1, 2, 3. Brilliant. Brilliant. Love that end sequence. Those three working so well together. And it's a win for Kalani, Jade, Bianca. But it's a win for women's wrestling. Let's go. Fraxiom backstage. They've still got old belts, haven't they? Randy! Yes! This Javon Evans. How fast is he? Teasing that she is going to be with Stephanie Vaquer. So Julia said, hello, my old friend. Very interesting. I would like an old friend of internet. That would be my old friend. Boop, 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 boop. Where is the internet? Where is the internet? Here is the internet. Here is... I think we're coming back, baby. I think we're coming back. I think we're coming back. Yeah! Yeah, I don't know what that was. It was a murmur. It was a flutter. It just had a moment. But we back, baby. Or at least I think we are. Pressure. 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 Right, we need to get the score for that last match, don't we? We need to get the score. Back. We're back. Match score. Match score. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Yeah, so Julia was like, hello, old friend. I would love it if she was talking to AJ Lee. That would be amazing, but it's not going to be. That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. There you are, says Metal Mama. There you are. I'm back. I was sat here and I was just like, oh, I'm going to go away for a moment and see if anyone notices. And you know what? You lot did, and that's why I love you all. What days is internet? Yeah. Yep. I mean, let's not whoop it too much because we are back, you know? So, respect. We are at commercial break, though. What do we think Cody is going to do after Kevin Owens attacked him? Well, I think he's going to try and talk to him. I think he's going to say, I understand your frustration. Cody's a lovely person that's going to give second chances. I think he's going to want answers. And I think he's going to be upset. But I think he's going to want to try and talk to his friend and save his friendship. So I think it's going to be that. But there ain't no saving that friendship. My boxer dog is sleeping. Woof woof, says Coach Co. Hello, Coach Co. Hope you're well, mate. Shout out to you. Shout out to your boxer dog. What is your boxer dog called, please? Better be named after a boxer. Otherwise, you've done it wrong. Did you catch the QR code at the end of Bad Blood, said Max. Yeah, I got told about it. And I got sent what it led people to. I mean, I didn't see it. But if you click on it, it just seemed to be the old one again. Like, I'm not aware that there was anything new. It just seemed to be the old one that we had before, so. Days, Fallon Henley Elite would be good with that, Jay. That would be good. Yeah, I agree with you. Wrestle with Andy, I hope you're well. That's interesting. I've got a feeling that Cody is going to be the original Bloodline team captain. What, over Roman? Surely not. I can't see him being the team captain over Roman. Surely Roman's the team captain. Yeah, I don't really understand this. Hell in a Cell world video premiere. Bad Blood Here's Roxanne. Oh, man, this should be a big segment, shouldn't it? This should be a big segment. Here comes Roxanne Perez. Let's go. Are we going to get Stephanie Vaquer in this moment? Roxanne making her way down with her new championship. Looks great. Coach Co said supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is sleeping. Very good. Very good. If you're not going to name your boxer dog after a boxer, naming it after a key catchphrase from Mary Poppins is a very close second. Here's Roxanne. Your chosen one was going to dethrone me. Nope. Once again. Here I stand with this. Come on, just bring Julia out. You're so predictable. I'll be here drinking all the tears. I don't have to drink alone anymore. A new old friendship. Here's the generation of Jades. Oh, is this slightly new music, is it? She's coming out with her knee in a brace. It's kind of a bit glittery as well, that knee brace. Cora Jade making her way down to the ring then. Booker said he doesn't know if he can say that without Cora Jade, Roxanne would be champion. But what he does know is that Cora Jade is back. Cora Jade said, I had to sit at home and listen to everyone talk about how this is the deepest division. My name was left off that list. I wanted to make sure everybody paid when I came back for forgetting about me. She said her name was being left off the list. No one saw it coming. Not even Roxanne when I cost Julia. The woman you're looking at now. I like that. The woman you're looking at now is the woman that's going to make NXT. Our friendship is finally being mended. I feel like Asuka is with Julia. Oh, what, you think Asuka? God, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? Imagine that, Jesus. I can't even imagine it. I know this championship is what shattered our friendship, but it's the one thing that's going to bring us right back together. Here's Julia. Here's Julia. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my God, she looks amazing. Look at that jacket. Julia making her way down to the ring. And we know that she has not come alone. Cora's like, come on. Get in. Oh, she turns around. She looks in the entranceway. Here's Stephanie Vaquer. Here's Stephanie Vaquer. Hello, old friend. Stephanie Vaquer has come walking down. Stephanie in the ring. Oh my God, let's go. We haven't seen Stephanie in NXT until this moment. Actually in the arena. She's been on a Titantron a couple of weeks ago. But here she is in an NXT ring. Julia and Stephanie deal with Roxanne and Cora. The Women's Championship. They both reach for it. Oh, look at that. Stephanie and Julia both picking it up, holding that championship belt. Wow. Ren says that next week she's going to show Stephanie what this division's all about. That'll be a banger. Ren against Stephanie. Let's go. What a show. What a show this is so far. Look at Charlie Dempsey's moustache. Oh my God, everything's happening. Rounds match. Is Tony, are we doing the so it seems like Lexis has gone to Charlie for a bit of advice. Here's Tony. Stephanie is going to murder Ren, said Kim Shanes. John said the NXT women's division is so over. It's in an amazing place, isn't it? Cora, Roxanne, Julia, Stephanie, Ren has come on leaps and bounds with her character since joining No Quarter Catch Crew. You've got the girls like, you know, Fallon can do some stuff. JC can do some stuff. Gigi obviously is very experienced. Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan, Sol Ruka. Jesus. Might be the greatest roster ever. Delta? Yeah, I keep forgetting. She's on the way. She's not in yet, is she? But she's on the way, you're right. It's taken her a while because she's walking, apparently. I don't know if you saw that vignette. I don't know why she didn't get an Uber. You've got to say, NXT right now can cram a lot into 2 hours, and it works so well, said Toby. Arctic Arcade said, has anyone seen the girl from the Olympics that she signed? I heard she was good. She was on NXT Level Up. I think she's made a couple of appearances. I forget her name. Something Mensa Stock, isn't it? Something Mensa Stock. But yeah, she's been on... we showed a picture on Unseen of her. She was like wearing really bright American kind of attire, you know. I wonder if we can do a quick search, actually. Let's whoosh this over. Let's go Mensa Stock. Oh, well, there's her in the Olympics. In April, she was spotted there. That's her. There we go. Tyra May Steele is her new name, but that's what she was wearing. It's a bit Wonder Woman-esque, in it. So this was back in July. She made her NXT TV debut on Level Up against Ren Sinclair. I don't like that name. Tyra May Steele. I don't like that name. She's got a little bit of like, I don't know, a bit of like, I don't know. It's getting like a very small Simone Biles kind of vibe. But she's bigger than Simone Biles. Simone Biles would probably just come up to like this rope here. Nah, she looks, I don't know, it's pretty wild. It's in your face. But listen, do you know what? I think if something's missing from wrestling in the modern world, it's colour. We need some colourful attires. Everything's so dark and black and moody. Let's go. In your face. So yeah, other than that, I've not seen anything. WWE has got no excuse to not have a thriving women's division. They have so much freaking talent. It is true. It is true. But that is a horrible name. Edward said, Daze, quick question. Which of the 3 Liverpool players do you see staying as their contracts are up at the end of the season? Trent, Salah, or Virgil van Dijk? I think Trent could go because Real Madrid is going to be too tempting. Salah, I don't know about Salah because he's made noises about going to Saudi Arabia, hasn't he? I don't know about Virgil. Virgil would be my pick out of those 3. I wouldn't be shocked if you lose Trent to Real Madrid and lose Salah to Saudi Arabia. NXT performs well in 2 hours. SmackDown performs well in 2 hours. What was the issue with Raw, said William? I think the issue with Raw was that people were looking at Raw and questioning about it being 2 hours. I think there was a conversation about its show length because we're not used to it being 2 hours. So Raw being 2 hours didn't feel right as a result because we're so used to it being 3. I think that is a factor. I think you can get used to Raw being 2 hours. I think the other thing as well is there's a lot of stars that didn't make it onto TV because we're used to seeing everyone every week. There was no Judgment Day. There was no Wyatt 6. And so you look at that and you go, yeah, it just doesn't feel like, you know, this is quite right because there's some big names that are missing. But to be honest, I come from a time where you didn't get everyone on TV every week. And if you go back to the Attitude Era, those shows, those Raws were 2 hours. From 1998 to 2012, Raw was 2 hours long. The only thing is that I looked on the network and it had 25 minutes of commercials. Yesterday's Raw had 35 minutes of commercials. So there was quite a few commercials, but not more than SmackDown. SmackDown, if you go on the network and you look at SmackDown, you get 1 hour, 25 minutes of SmackDown when you take the commercials away. If you look at how long Raw ran and you take the commercials out, I think it came out at 1 hour, 23. It's about the same. So I do think that there's a perception thing that was at play. I do think that it could settle down. Part of the problem, though, and I did say this in the review, is that you've got 3 hours worth of superstars, 3 hours worth of storylines. Like, Raw is set up for 3 hours. So, like, you are trying to put a square peg in a round hole. Like, it is going to be a struggle. It is going to be difficult at the moment. But there is no reason why Raw being 2 hours wouldn't work, because NXT's fine, SmackDown's fine. Raw was 2 hours for 14 years, and it was fine. Like, 2 hours is fine for Raw. It's just, I understand that right now, because it's not set up for 2 hours, it feels too rushed. But I think it's one of those where it will settle down, and people will get sort of used to it. But we've only got to deal with it for 3 months. When we go to Netflix, the belief is it will go back to 3. But it is worth mentioning as well, because I really don't think people know this wasn't WWE's choice. They didn't go, oh, should we do Raw for 2 hours for a lull? It was the fact that the USA Network contract expired in September. The new contract with Netflix doesn't start until January. And so they negotiated an extension, but unfortunately they could only get 2 hours for the extension. So really, now until the end of the year, Raw's going to be 2 hours, because that's all that USA can accommodate. Once we go to Netflix, the belief is it'll go back to 3 hours, but that hasn't been confirmed yet. But the belief is it will go back to 3 hours. So I would say, like, for people that really want the 3 hours to come back, like, yeah, make your voices heard. Tell them that you want, when we go to Netflix, it to be 3 hours. Outside of that, though, there's not anything they can do at the moment. USA Network are the ones that have said it's got to go to 2 whilst it's with them. I think they've got somewhere else in that time slot. But again, I understand. I understand people saying it felt rushed. I think the show is set up for 3. You're trying to fit a 3-hour show into 2 rather than having the show set up to be 2. But if it was 2, I have no doubt it would work, because it did work. We did it, and it worked. And NXT is 2, and SmackDown is 2, and Dynamite is 2. So why the flip would Raw not work being 2? It's just right now, it feels weird, and it's not set up to be 2. So it's one of those, isn't it? It's no biggie. It's no drama. It's no problem. I liked the quicker pace, actually. I liked the way that some segments just flowed into the next. Like, I kind of liked it, like, being a bit seamless. But yeah, you know, you could definitely have the odd segment go a little longer. You could make an argument that the main event needed a little bit more time. You could make the argument that Jey and Xavier needed a bit more time. I don't think anyone wanted more time for the women's tag match. I don't think Punk needed more time. Like, there's a good chunk of it that was absolutely fine. There was only the odd bit that I would say needed to breathe a little more. Mainly the start in opening match, but that wasn't a big problem. And the main event, because the main event got going and it got really good, and then it had to end. But then saying that, they could have had a little bit longer if they didn't do the Bron Breakker thing after it. After the first one, you know? And then, you know, you could argue that the main event could have had longer if Gunther didn't leave the ring and have a little stare down with Cody. You could make the argument if we didn't put the women on the show, they could have had all that time, because that didn't add anything apart from women on the show so that people didn't complain. Yeah, lots of stuff. If you want to dig deeper into that, like, we really talk about it in the review for Raw on the second channel. There is a Wrestling Daze opinions channel. Kicked here by Tony. Tony in control at the moment. Double axe handle. He gets caught by Oba. Slammed on the edge of the ring. So Tony goes down. Oba jumping up. And I think we're about to go to commercial break here. And we do. Lovely. Yeah, I didn't think this thing was going to just finish. I was expecting this to go a bit of time. North American title on the line. I don't think it will go back to 3 hours, except for PLEs, says Kipata. Well, if it doesn't go back to 3 hours, I would expect some superstars to be let go, and I wouldn't like to see that. To be perfectly truthful with you, my solution, what I would like to see is I would like to see a third show be introduced. I don't know if that would be to everyone's appetite, but, you know, as someone that streams and someone that talks about wrestling, I have no problem taking that third hour of Raw. Rather than watching Raw for 3 hours, watch Raw for 2, watch SmackDown for 2, but introduce a third brand. And I don't know, could WWE sell that third brand onto TV so that they've still got... you know, I know that NXT is on CW Network. But like, could they get another show that maybe around the world internationally? Like, could TNT Sports, I think, would be interested if they revived WCW as a third brand and sold it around the world. I've got to think someone would be interested in that. I've got to think that someone would be interested, and I've got to think that means more ticket sales. It means more TV revenue. You know, here in the UK, everything's about to go on to Netflix. Are you telling me that TNT Sports wouldn't buy a brand new WWE show? And that third hour of Raw, why don't you use that and then add a completely extra hour? So you're only actually adding one more hour a week. You could take that third hour, you could add an extra hour, and then you've got a brand new 2-hour show, WCW. Air it on a Wednesday, air it on a Thursday. You know, there's 2 days in the week where we don't have Wednesday, Thursday, we don't have WWE. So we could do that. If someone was to say to me, do you want Raw to go back to 3 hours or do you want a new 2-hour show? I'm taking the 2-hour show, 100%. 100%. I don't even know that's on the table, by the way. So don't get excited by that. But that's an idea. If I worked in WWE, I would float. I'd be like, listen, why don't we take some of the people off Raw, call up some people from NXT, create something new. Doesn't have to be WCW, of course, but I don't know. Let's call it WWE Aftershock. WWE Aftershock. And we'll see if Fox are interested. Leave Thursdays alone, that's TNA, said James. I was wondering if we could go just before it or something, I don't know. Oh, we'll run Wednesdays, it's no problem. There's no wrestling on a Wednesday. Femi against Tony. I was watching the Mets during the web. I caught the tail end of it, says A.B. Jobson. We got a voice reveal for Mitchell. We got our Florida correspondent in, Mitchell. Officially the WEP's Florida correspondent, giving us an update on what's going down in Florida. Mr. Cardinal said, Daze, it's Mr. Cardinal, your #1 fan. Is that true? Is that true? #1 fan. Well, you are referring to yourself that way, so I'm going to believe you. Who are you splitting on when I come to England next year? Who are you split? What does that mean? Oh, Femi goes down. What do you mean, Mr. Cardinal? What do you mean? And also, I think you've upset Edward now. Did someone say they're the #1 fan? Oh, hello, Crowbar in the ring. Stephen, shout out to you, my friends. You could call it Wednesday Night Nitro or WWE Thursday Night Thunder. That's fun, Stephen. Wednesday Night Nitro. Hey, listen, get Bischoff involved. Make Bischoff the GM. Imagine that. Oh my God, going up against AEW with how much he hates AEW. Give Eric Bischoff a Wednesday night WWE show. Call it Wednesday Night Nitro. Oh my God, you've nailed it, Stephen. You've nailed it. Imagine that. Bischoff GM. Sticking it to Tony on a Wednesday night. Wow. Someone get in touch with WWE. I want ECW back, said Luke. Yeah, we'll do that as well. We'll do that on a Thursday. We'll have Raw on a Monday, NXT on a Tuesday, Nitro on a Wednesday, ECW on a Thursday, SmackDown on a Friday, PLEs on a Saturday. And then we'll all flipping sleep on a Sunday. Oberfemi pushing. Oh, the Riz went down. No, that's unacceptable. I didn't touch you, said Ober. I didn't touch you. Come on, Tony. Do something about that. He's murking your family. Look at this. The Riz is down, but Oba's like, I didn't touch her. Oh, this is going to unlock something from Tony. Take down by Tony. Shots coming down. Oof. Into the barricades. Into the edge of the ring. Into the ring steps. Come on, Tony. Come on, Tony. He's murked your family. Belly to belly. Oba on the entrance ramp. In the ring goes Oba. That was a good belly to belly, that was. Oh, spear by Tony. 1, 2. Nah, it's going to take more than that. It's going to take way more than that. It's going to take more than that, you boomer. Yeah, lots of excitement. Lots of excitement. Running over, colliding. Uppercut there by Oba. Tony comes over. He collides into Oba. Tony goes back in the corner. Bah! Big boot by Oba. Big boot by Oba. Bah! Choke slam. Going for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, shoulder up. Shoulder up. Tony lives. Tony lives. Woof. That was a big, big slam. Fun match. Fun match. I am your only #1 fan, says Edward. I knew it would kick off. I knew it. I knew it would kick off. Right now, Oba. Oh, lovely suplex. German suplex by Tony, and he hasn't released it. Another suplex there by Tony. He's keeping a hold of the suplexes. He's not releasing them. Here's Oba on his feet. Tony looking for another suplex. Elbow coming in there by Oba into the side of the head of Tony. Oba looking to pick up Tony and throws him across the ring. Oh, Oba goes down. Oba just kind of chucked himself down momentarily onto the floor. I think Oba has gone beyond his limit. I mean, that was a hell of a throw there by Oba Femi. I don't know why he then threw himself down to the ground. I think he just got a bit carried away. Crowd are chanting, this is awesome. Crowd are chanting, this is awesome. Oba in control. This show has absolutely flown. Genuinely one of my favourite episodes of NXT, I think, for the year. Everything has just been so good. Right now, Oba Femi down on his knees, getting back up. Oh, big strike there by Oba. Tony goes to the outsides. Oba jumps out the ring, going after him. Top of the commentary table is stripped. Oba Femi clearing the commentary table. He's got Tony. He's going to look to put him through the commentary table. Picks him up. No. Tony reversing. Spine buster through the table. Spine buster. Can Tony do it? People in the crowd believe. People in the crowd believe. Tony behind Oba. Picks him up. Another spine buster. Tony 1, 2. Oh, no! Shh. Look at Tony, man. Look at Tony. So frustrated. Oh, what a match. What a match. Brilliant match. The Don. The Don. The Don is showing up and showing out as Oba grabs Tony. Tries to pick him up, but Tony goes over, rolls up over 1, 2, and he gets it! Tony gets it! Tony gets it! Wow! Tony manages to over-rotate and roll up Oba. He gets the 3. Oba is shocked. Oba is shocked. That is a big win for Tony. It's a huge win for the family. It's the greatest thing that has ever happened to the country of Italy. Wow. So good. Really fun. Really fun. That's got to be an NXT TV match of the year contender. Crowd was so into it. So into it. Brilliant. Brilliant. That was awesome. People are enjoying it, seemingly. Let's get the poll, though. Match score. There he is with the Italian flag. It's literally pizza, spaghetti, and this. Those are the top 3 greatest moments in the history of Italy. He's just knocked Pavarotti into 4th place. I mean, what else have they got going for them? Literally nothing. Some ruins. That's it. And don't even mention Bruno Sammartino. He doesn't even belong on the list. We rank things that are great about Italy, and Bruno is above that. Here's Nikita Lyons. She's literally just like boobs, isn't she? With like a body attached. A lot has changed since you've been gone. Since you've been gone. So it might be Lola against Nikita. So Nikita is back. A-Town Down Under making their way down to the ring. This show just keeps on delivering. Keeps on delivering. A-Town Down Under. We run NXT too, says Grayson Waller. A-Town Down versus Fraxiom. What the hell is the main event tonight? Oh, it's going to be Randy, isn't it? It's going to be Randy. It's going to be Boomer Orton. Randy Javon, probably main event, says Brony. Great show, said the Jimmy Jet. I agree. This show is... We were so excited for last week because they'd spent so long building up last week, Roxanne, Julia, Ethan, Trick, that this week kind of felt a bit of a step down in comparison, but it's flipping stacked. It's stacked. They'll be thrilled with the quality of that match as well, because that's one of those matches that I think people talk about and they're like, are you watching? You need to be watching. It's one of those that like, oh my God, turn the channel. Like, you need to watch this. Fraxiom, and this will be good as well. I mean, Fraxiom always bring the energy. A-Town Down Under next. Halftime scores. Yeah, sure. Sure. Halftime scores, everybody. It's the halftime scores. I really want to know your halftime scores. Put it in the chat. Halftime scores, everybody. It's the halftime scores. Are you happy? It's the halftime scores. Are you happy or you sad? Halftime scores, everybody. It's the halftime scores. I should get that recorded. If I got it recorded, I could just press play then. Just sit here like this. Okay. Danny D 6.5, Sunny 7, Matter 8.75, Ashma 8, Michael 8, Mike 7.7, Caleb 9, Jay 7, Duron 8.987, Billy 8, Mr. Dell Jr. 7.5, Oscar 8, Brony 775, Tom 7.8, D 9, Johnny 7.5, Eric 8, Cherie 8.5, Mitchell. He loves it, doesn't he? 69. Well, I don't know that he loves 69. I'd imagine he does. K-pop lover 8, Gary 7.5, Draco 7.5, Suzanne 7, Danny D 6.5, Nick 8.5, Rob 7.5, Brony 775, Spartan 5, AB Jobson 6, the Jimmy J 7, Trini Cena. Hello. Welcome to the community. I don't remember seeing Trini Cena before, but Trini Cena, which is ironic, isn't it? Because you get it. Wrestling Proud 7.5, Tinglin 7, Stephen, I give NXT a 9. Edward said, I've tagged you in something. It's about Wyndham. It's from years ago. Can you check it out? Well, I am working through. The good news is that I've managed to get to 10 hours ago. So I'm up to 10 hours ago at the moment. So I am in the process of working through. Was excited for the possibility of Motor City Machine Guns debuting after this match, but clearly that's not going to happen now, says James. Yeah, wild. But, you know, exciting that they're going to go to the main roster. Brony 775, Triton 8.5, Kip Parter with an 8, Robert with a 969, Oscar with an 8, Nathan with a 9, Corey with a 7, Dro with an 8, Mr. Cardinal said 7 for Nikita Lyons Curves. That's all she is. She's literally nothing but curves. Finisher 8.5, Megan with an 8, Stephen with a 9, Riser Designs 8.5. Wrestling Proud said you should get that recorded. Well, do you know what, Wrestling Proud? Boomers 10 out of 10, by the way. Mr. B 8.6. Luke with 876. I have said this before, and I will say it again. If anyone wants to record their own version of the halftime score song and send it, I will happily replace that edition that we know and that version that we know and love. I will happily cycle through contributions from the community. So I'm throwing it out there. Hello, we're backstage. Here is Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. Jada Parker. We don't run from a challenge, says Jade. How about Friday night on SmackDown? What? Jakara and Lash against Jade and Bianca on SmackDown? Is that what just happened? They're really trying to get, like, some stars over. Maybe get some talent onto, like, you know, in front of, like, big crowds. So, like, hey, come and watch NXT kind of a thing. We have seen them do that before. There's been plenty of times where NXT talent has gone to the main roster, get shown in the crowd, do a little summit backstage. Very rare for them to have matches, though. That's an interesting development, isn't it? Different. Austin said, you're never going to hear me sing. Well, that's a shame. Because the streets are saying that you are, like, one of the top 10 choir boys in the world. Seamus said, I created the Donnybrook match because an Irish bar fight in a WWE ring was something I knew would bring the house down. Plus, I get home field advantage. Hashtag banger after banger. Really good match that was. The Donnybrook. Right, Tag Team Championship match. We got 45 minutes to go. Got 45 minutes to go. A-Town down under. I don't see A-Town winning, said Suzanne. No, I'm with you. I don't either. I don't either. Roman would get NXT to 1 minute. Imagine Roman being on. Imagine Roman being on. That would be sick. That would be sick. I'm sure they'll do it at some point. What with him being a face? I mean, he was born in Pensacola, Florida, so I don't know where he lives. He might not live that far away, all things considered. Okay, we're starting off with Austin Theory and Axiom. Austin Theory and Axiom. I've heard that James sings like Britney Spears level or something like that. Yeah, it is true. It is absolutely amazing. The problem is that there is profanity every other words. You know? Effing hit me, baby, one more effing time. It's like that. Oops, I effing did it again to your heart. You know, all the hits. All the hits. You drive me effing crazy. I just can't effing sleep. Yeah, but he sings it well, though. Sings it well. You just can't play it. I mean, like, because kids might get confused with, like, the originals, and it's too risky. There we are backstage. We're seeing Randy getting ready for his main event match. Getting ready for his main event match as at the moment we've got Nathan in there with Austin Theory. He's trying to go over and tag in Axiom. No joy though. Lovely kick there, and the tag is made. Axiom coming in. Nice colliding into Austin Theory. Theory goes down. Lovely DDT. Kick coming into the midsection there by Axiom. Axiom against the ropes. Goes round the houses into a DDT on Grayson. So Axiom charging over to Theory. Theory kicking out. Theory going up to the top rope enziguri. Lovely work there by Axiom. Spanish Fly coming up. Spanish Fly coming up there. We've got Grayson holding on to Theory, preventing the Spanish Fly. Clothesline. Lovely. That's going to take us to commercial break. Billie effing Jean is not my effing lover. It is true. Although, in all fairness, if she was going around saying that that kid was yours and it wasn't, you probably would be upset. Yeah, I mean, I could understand people being really off with Billie Jean. She seems like a douche. Daze, why is there a fake WrestleVotes account? It makes no sense. Because they like to, like, cause carnage. They like to catch people out, don't they? There's a fake WrestleVotes. There's a fake WrestleOps. There's a fake Rock that I keep getting tagged in. I keep saying it, and I keep saying it till I'm blue in the face. Block these accounts. I don't even see what I get tagged in. Like, people tag me and stuff going, oh my god, this is... do you think this is real? And what's underneath just says you can't see this account because you've, like, blocked them or whatever. And straight away I know that it's from a fake account. So I don't even see what gets said. I don't know. I don't even know what nonsense is being spread. So I'll say it again. I strongly recommend that WrestleVotes, WrestleOps. What other ones are? There's a few, isn't there? There's a Rock one that I've seen doing the rounds. I feel like there's another one. I think there's like 4 or 5 big ones that are quite active. I would recommend that you block them. That way that you don't even get to see the nonsense that's being spread. Show style lucha in AEW, says Nick. I don't know what AEW are doing tonight. Just an idea. I think it would be cool to dance in the chat. How do we... What? At what? For non-talkers to entrance music. It's free for everyone regarding last thing I said. I have no idea what you're on about. Is this because you've got a bit older now? You've become, like, senile? Is that what's... Because when you... People do tend to hit that age, don't they? Where, like... You know what I mean? They're like, oh... I've had this idea, and it's like, yeah, oh, bless. Is that what's happened? Because what you just said there didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. So I don't really know how to help you with that, to be honest. There probably is a way forward, but I can't find it. So thank you for joining us, Metal Mama. It's lovely having you round, love. I would say leave the messages to other people, yeah? Have a biscuit. Have a biscuit. You like them, don't you? Eh? Do you remember them from the war? Biscuits. Oh. No. Nick says, I was saying what was happening. Oh, got you. Days, tomorrow is my 20th birthday. Bishop is 20 older than 12. Please respond. My meds might have kicked in, said Raven. Nah, you're all right, Raven. I've never seen you have a moment. Right, here we go. We are on the outside. Theory. In the ring, we got big kick there by Grayson. Axiom goes down. D is like, stop picking on Metal Mama. Oh, here we go. Here we go. It's kicking off. It's kicking off, guys. It's kicking off. There's a civil war breaking out. I'm not going to encourage that because, you know what I mean? That could lead to some bad stuff, but... it's kicking off. Pick a side. Everyone's got to pick a side. It's happening. Lines are being drawn up. Battle lines have been drawn up. Bishop said, yes, 20 is older than 12. Bishop, thank you. Thank you. I just needed that to be confirmed. That would be the one he'd take. I'm sorry for your outfit, says Austin. Is everyone all right? What's going on? Corey said, we're like a nursing home round here. Aren't we just? Boom! Big splash by Axiom. Right, here we go. Here's Nathan. Top rope. Nice. Missile drop kick. I didn't even want a birthday shout out. Oh, yeah, but you were getting people to ask for one, weren't you? Guys, can you ask Daze that he'll shout me out for my birthday? Boom. Down goes Theory. Looking for... Oh, no joy. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. Off the middle rope. Little off. Beautiful. When we do finally release him from the shackles that is this tag team, Nathan Frazier is going to be mind-blowing, isn't he? Edward said, I meant the one that I tagged you earlier. Don't. It's irrelevant. I can't stress this enough. I'm 9 hours behind. Am I getting that across? Like, X-wise, my notifications, I've not seen anything for 9 hours. And even the stuff that I have seen, I've filtered it into, will that work for unseen? Have I already got it? Like, you know, this is not a conversation to have right now. 1, 2, shoulder up. If anyone calls Aramis in AEW hologram, I'm gonna lose my shiz. Here's Aramis. Who? Hologram? Yeah, I know Hologram. He sucks. Is that who's on right now? Hologram. in AEW, the one they call Hologram. Back in the corner, over the top. Fun fact, if you go over 12, Daze doesn't do birthday shout-outs because it is for kids. So, go on, peeps. He even denied Metal Mama. Well, Metal Mama took it that extra step where she was getting other people to ask for, like, oh, I don't think Daze has seen my request. Can you get, can you ask him, please? I need as many people to get his attention as possible. My week will be ruined if I don't get a birthday shout out. It is important to some people, in all fairness, so, you know. Fair play. Here's a guillotine. Daze, I agree. Sheamus Pete Dunne match was great, says Amin. Now Mama's like, oh my god. Listen, don't blame us. Wasn't our fault. You lost your mind. Some people just seek attention. That's what the truth is. And they're just not quite content until they get it. And do you know what, Mama? That's all right. You're not alone. There's a lot of people in that boat. Boom, says the guy on camera several times a week. Look at me. I need it as well. I would die in the corner of the room if I didn't get attention. I'm the most attention-seeking person I've ever met. So I totally relate. I've never asked someone for a birthday shout-out, though. I've never done that. I've never gone to those depths. Even I've got limits. Here's Nathan Frazier up top. Boom! Splashes down. Is this going to do it? 1, 2, 3, and it's a win for Fraxiom. I don't think we were really expecting the titles to change hands there, were we, to be honest? Right, let's go. Match score. Sexy Red performance next. Let's go. Oh my god. Let's flipping go. Do you think she'll wear clothes? I'm so excited. It's a win for Fraxiom. There was... Oh my god, you're right. It's a special performance. Booker's got his what ready? His binoculars ready. Oh yeah! What's he got ready? Oh my god, I'm ready. Am I ready? Are you ready? Oh my god, I'm so excited. Right, Fraxiom versus A-Town. Daze, you say you got limits is like me saying I got limits to how far I go. It means effort. That is true, actually. It is true. I'm just saying I've never got to that level. Could I get to that level? Sure. Mr. B said, we need Sexy Red to team up with Daze and make Sexy Daze. Oh my god. What a collab. What a collab. Austin says, happy birthday, Daze. Thank you, Austin. Thank you. Random thought. What wrestling theme song would you want played at your funeral? Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels. Sexy boy, I'm not your boy toy. Boy toy. Da-na-na-na. That'd be pretty good. Or what about Mr. Ass? I'm an ass man. I mean, why do I need to be embarrassed? I'm dead. Do you know what I mean? Maybe something like that. Yeah, Jake, shout out to you. Yeah, people now saying happy birthday. Appreciate it, guys. I don't like to ask. It's very kind. Metal Mama says, I hate that I spoke with Mary Jane prior to here. That's drugs. Listen, I know drug codes. Those are drugs, guys. Some of you won't know the lingo, but Mary Jane is basically what drug dealers say to each other. Have you got any Mary Jane? And they mean drugs. So hang on, I'll try and decode this for you. I hate that I spoke with Mary Jane prior to here. I can't stick up for myself. I need to come here mad. I sent 2 messages. You read the second one, so I sound delusional. Yeah. That's what happens when a druggie blames it on drugs. It's the drugs. I could respond, but I'm on drugs. That's that's basically what you've said. That's that doesn't make it better, does it? Oh my God, I can't respond to this because I'm on drugs. Is that really what you want to put out there? Is that really the impression that you want the community to have of you? Guys, don't judge me. Don't judge me. I would be able to come back with something witty, but I'm on drugs. Oh, wow. Anyone else feel like this is a situation that's like really spiraling out of control? Listen, it's not my fault. I told you commenting is for maybe other people. Like, go and have a biscuit. I told you this about 5 minutes ago, right? At no point did I say jump in the chat and blame drugs. When did I say that? When did I say that? I didn't, did I? I tried to help you. I tried to help you. I said, go away. Don't go in the chat. Don't say anything in the chat. Walk away. Have a biscuit. I'll find the flipping clip. At no point did I say, tell the community that you smashed off your face on drugs and that'll make things better. Some people make really bad life choices, don't they? You know, I'm not saying I'm talking about Metal Mama here. I'm just saying, in general, some people make some really bad life choices. Guys, can we get some prayers in the chat? We need some praying hands in the chat for Metal Mama, because I don't know kind of what she's going through, but I feel like she's going through something. So I'm putting some praying hands in the chat right now whilst we're waiting for whatever's coming up next. Here's Rich Hollands. This is nice. This is nice. I said I was going to run through them all. Praying hands in the chat right now. Thoughts are with you, my friends. Thoughts are with you. It's nice. Oh, look at this. And the community's really come out as well. It's like a vigil. This is like, what's it called when you've got a friend that's on drugs and you step in to save them? It's like one of them, an intervention. Oh my God. This is an intervention. I'm afraid I've got to put your problems to one side, though. Your drug problems, because I've got to deal with Sexy Red now. Bow, 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 bow! Bow! Is she shooting? Yeah. Okay. Go, Queen! In a bit. Oh, we know this one! We were looking at the lyrics to this one. Yes! She talks about effing. And oh, in between people, none of them seem and being sexy. Yeah, go on, Booker. In a sexy. No. 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 Who's this real estate agent? Who's this insurance seller? Who's this boomer? Go back to AEW. Yes. That's the truffle shuffle, in it. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. That might be the greatest moment in wrestling history. Not this bit, the bit before. Tune, weren't it? Tune. He wants a rematch. You said a bunch of nothing. You said a bunch of nothing. Boo! You said a bunch of nothing. Here's the young OG. Yes. It's going to lead to Javon Randy in it. This is going to be our main event. This is how we're closing out the show. This has been a really fun show. Bum ba down down down. Anyone else got that tune in their head? Bum ba down down down. Ethan is clothesline to the outside. Guys, I could be in the ring with them, guys. I could fit in. I'm pretty sure I'd fit in. They wouldn't even notice I was there. I'd just be in the corner, humping the mat. They'd be like, who's that guy in the corner? Just humping the mat? No, I don't know, but he's cool, isn't he? Days, this Saturday, I might go to the American Legion post 100. Carmen Live is Sexy Red going to be there. Suzanne said this has been a good show, actually. Matt said young OG dancing with his mom is kind of sweet. Very good. Very good. That is the greatest segment in pro wrestling history, says Kader. Austin said we do need to get that from you. Oh, I knew you would be a fan. I would rather watch Mike Ademley than Sexy Reds. I've never been happier to see them pay. Bishop! Is this all because you didn't get a birthday shout out? You've turned into a hater. What's going on? Bishop, are we losing you? Have we lost you to the dark side? What's going on? I don't want that to happen, Bishop. So Bishop straight, the Ober Femi stan. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. 20 years old, just 1 year behind me. Catching me up. There we go. I feel like that's brought you back now into the community. How do you feel about Sexy Red now, Bishop? Now that you had a birthday shout out. It was my birthday last week, said Gaius Kuhn. Happy birthday. Well done. Happy birthday. How do you feel about Sexy Red? I would rather watch Goldberg squash Gunther than watch Sexy Red, said Nita Nitro. Nita Nitro, happy birthday. Happy birthday. I hope you had a good one, mate. How do you feel now? No, I hate rap music. I only listen to alternative music. Yeah, but I think Sexy Red transcends music. She's bigger than music. Music's like about here. like doing whatever it's doing, music stuff. And she's like up here. She's like bigger than music. Do you know what I mean? You can't really put her in a box. You can't really call it music, to be honest. It's more than that. It's an extravaganza. It's a treat for all the senses, visual, all the senses, all of them. It's a treat for all of them. It's bigger than just, oh, I'm listening to music, you know. I'd say rewatch it. You'll get it. It takes a little bit of time to understand the genius of Sexy Red, but you'll get it. It's my unbirthday. Move down, said Mr. Cardinal. An unbirthday. Daze, do you do merry half birthday shout outs? Well, I didn't realize it was so important to the community. This is something I've learned really over the past week, that apparently this is, I'm starting to think all I'm here for is birthday shout outs, half birthday shout outs. Like this is all we're doing now. I might change all the streams over to like birthday stream, and we just like everyone we just shout out people's birthdays. It's very exciting. It's a whole new world. But I want to put Sexy Red in a box. So do I. And I don't even know what that means. I've already watched Deadpool versus Wolverine, said AB Jobson. Toon said CCBC presenter. What? CBeebies? Like kids, kind of. Yeah. Like when they send in notes and it's like, here's Tom, age 7. Look, he's done this picture. Tom says it's his birthday on Saturday. So Tom, happy birthday. It does feel a bit like that. Only without you sending in pictures. You know? Here's a drawing from Samantha. Samantha, aged 11. Look at this wonderful drawing here of... I don't know any kid shows anymore. What's a kid show? Bluey. That. Bluey. Well done. It's her birthday. Never. So, happy birthday. I couldn't think of any kid shows then for a second. Back in my day, do you know what I mean? Button Moon, Rainbow, little bit of Sesame Street, but not loads of Sesame Street. Fraggle Rock. Do you remember Fraggle Rock? I'm trying to think what else was around when I was young. Play Days, Play Bus. I really can't think. Oh, Thomas the Tank Engine. Oh, I loved Thomas the Tank Engine when I was young. Loved it. Really young, you know. I was before Teletubbies, so I didn't watch that. Or Tweenies, didn't watch that. That's for losers. Teletubbies, Tweenies. Here's Randy. Yeah, Rainbow was goated back in the day. Thomas was goated. Loved Fraggle Rock, said John. Bagpuss, said Kim's Chains. Thundercats. Oh, Lamb Chop. Now, Mama, Lamb Chop was awesome. Lamb Chop was awesome. Who was that woman? What was her name? He always had a boomer woman, didn't he? Is her name Shari Lewis? Lamb Chop. Oh, God, I might see if I can find some Lamb Chop. Shari Lewis, was that her name? What era is Lamb Chop? Loads of people won't remember Lamb Chop. I always saw it, thought it was really fun. I'll probably watch it now and hate it. Yeah, Shari Lewis, this boomer woman, she was great. Is she dead? I feel like she is. Is she dead? Shari Lewis. She's dead. She died in 1998. Gone too soon. She was only 64. God, only 64. There she is, look, with lamb chop. That's lamb chop. That thing there. It's a lamb. Died 98 in California. Is that her? She's not a bad looking woman, was she? In her prime. "12 Emmy Awards. Look at that. Goat. Look at all these she was in. She was in Star Trek. Lamb Chops Play Along. I wonder if that's what I watched. 92, 97. Might be that. Yeah. Right, Randy in the ring. Ain't got time for Lamb Chop. Ain't got time for boomer shows. Okay, Javon in one corner, Randy in the other. Let's go. 12 minutes. The two of them locking up. Smile on the face of Randy. Randy against the ropes. Jumps over Javon. Drop kick. Ah, look at that. Randy just walks away. Randy is so old man thick, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? Like, he's jacked and he's big, but he's kind of like spread out. He's filled out. He's just a big... He's got that kind of big old man boomer look. In a very complimentary way. You know, you compare him to the young, not filled out Javon Evans, who's, you know, still growing. Still a growing young man, isn't he? Over in the corner goes Javon. To the outside. Through the ropes, rolls through. Randy can't get a hold of him. Randy looks a bit confused. Randy backing up. Looking to lock up again. They do lock up. Side headlock. What about clangers or pigeon? Oh, yeah, Pigeon Street. I remember that. Cuthbert, Dibble, and Grub. Yeah, these ring bells. Some of them I can't picture, but some of them I know the names of. As Randy moves out the way, steps to the side. Pigeon Street, I remember. Randy. No, no, no. No, no, no. Randy locking up then with Javon. Javon driving Randy back. Randy keeping Javon grounded. You're grounded. So a little pat on the head. Kick coming into the midsection there by Javon. Oh, super kick there by Javon. Randy goes down. Yeah, there you go. Pat me on the head, will you? Lovely drop kick by Javon. Randy rolls out the ring. I think that's probably going to take us to commercial break. Yep, and we do. And we do. Did you have Bozo the Clown? No. Oh my god. Oh my god. This has reminded me. I watched this video, and I think you'll find this interesting. I watched this video last night. I always have like little bits on as I'm just doing bits. And it was all about the history of Adult Swim infomercials, right? Now, Adult Swim is like a late night weird comedy thing for adults, right? It's where you get like more mature content, but not like sexy or anything like that, but just, you know, they'll push the envelope. They'll do stuff that sort of makes you think a little bit more. But it's comedy stuff as well, right? And I'd never heard about these infomercials, but apparently they did a series around 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. They did a series of infomercials that were fake. And they had like some scary stuff that was in there, some bit of silly comedy. They were going through, this video was going through, and there was loads of like, you know, that they had done, loads of ones that they had done. There was one that was called Too Many Cooks. Is it Too Many Cooks? Too Many Cooks? Yes. Too Many Cooks. So there's one that's called Too Many Cooks. And apparently all they've done is they've spoofed the intro to sitcoms. So you've got like a woman cooking and she'll turn to the camera and then her name will appear at the bottom. And the whole 11 minutes is just that. Different characters turning to the camera. But in the background, you start seeing someone in the background. And at the end of the 11 minutes, he's killing the characters and he's replacing them in the scene. It's really dark, moody, but there's a bit of like intrigue and a bit of humor in there. And one of the craziest things I learned from this video is there's loads of different infomercials. Some of them like do different themes, but they think this is the only video, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but they think this is the only video on YouTube that has got a custom layout for the title. I'm going to show it you. I'm going to show it you. I'm going to move it over now. Look at that. Look at that. No other video on YouTube has got a coloured title or this kind of font or this size font either. But they think this might be the only video on YouTube that's got this. How weird is that? I saw that. I was like, that is so cool. And it is this like fake intro that was an infomercial. And you start to get, as you said, as you start to go on, you start to see like this guy popping up in the background as it goes on. Like there he is, look. And like you can see it's like I reckon if you're into like Wyatt 6, I think you would like, I think you'd get something from this. They only run, they're very, very short. And apparently there was loads of them. I've never heard of them though. Look at that. Too Many Cooks. How cool. So this has been viewed 26 million times. I mean, I've no doubt that many of you have heard of this. I've never heard of it. There's a whole video on it. Adult Swim infomercials, recommend it because some of them are really interesting. Some of them are silly. And even the guy was like, yeah, they missed the mark on this. But that Too Many Cooks is a good one. There's another one as well where there's a woman and she's in an advert and then she sees herself and her self is chasing her. And it like the advert starts to turn into like this kind of stalker, dark kind of thing. Really good. There's a whole website that's like really, you've got to watch it. You got to watch it. You got to watch these shorts, man. If you're into Wyatt 6, I think you'd really like them. There's a wallet on the floor, guys, because Javon has been slammed into the commentary table. Whose wallet is that? Someone's wallet is on the floor. If I'm Javon, I'm taking the money. I'm taking the cards. He is in a lot of pain. Crowd are chanting for Randy. Coming up next week, we've got the Gentleman's Duel. Back in the ring goes Javon. Randy on the edge of the ring. Is he going back to the Performance Center next week? Yes. Yes, it is. After ARW Pro event, there will be another show in October. Well, hopefully Sexy Red is at that one, bud. Into the corner goes Javon. Javon down. Randy coming over. Grabbing Javon. Back in the corner. We got about 5 minutes to go. This thing getting to the business end as Javon goes up and oh, big spot. Air Javon Evans there, springing off that rope, landing onto Randy. Chop coming in by Javon, forearm strike by Javon, driving Randy back into the corner. Randy reversing, Javon going into the corner. He goes up. Against the ropes, top rope. Oh, lovely kick. Lovely work. Down goes Randy. One. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. That was great. Look at this. Lovely little sequence here by Javon. Again, middle rope, looking for a cutter, couldn't get it, gets caught by Randy. Randy pushes Javon against the ropes, goes for a clothesline, over the other side, boom, slams him down. Vintage Orton as the ref comes in, shoulder up by Javon. Shoulder up by Javon. So, Javon down at the moment. "20 years old, Javon. Javon on the outside. It's going to be a draping DDT by Randy. And boom, he plants Javon. Don't look good. Randy gesturing to the crowds. It doesn't massively feel like Randy's got out of first gear, to be honest. He hasn't massively needed to because of his experience. But still, Javon has shown what he's capable of. Oh, super kick there by Javon. Randy goes down, slumps down. Javon looking over at Randy. Javon getting up on his feet, goes over to the side, up top, looking for, oh, he gets it! He gets it! Massive cutter from the top! Oh, I didn't think he was going to stick that. I didn't think he was going to get that, but he did get that. Oh, God. So good. He goes up. Oh! Randy trying for that RKO. And he gets it. It was quite ambitious, that one, because Javon was spinning in the air. Randy couldn't quite get it. He ends up just RKOing Javon anyway. It's Randy that gets the win. But plenty of respect is going to be shown to the young OG. Oh, let's go. Shame that he couldn't quite stick that RKO. He couldn't quite land it, but that's got to be one of the hardest to get, hasn't it? Because he's flipping. I wouldn't even attempted it, to be honest. Look at that. I can't believe he landed that. I can't believe he landed that. He landed that massive cutter, but the one where he was spinning in the air, they're not even showing the replay of it, unfortunately. I wonder if they practiced it and he did stick it in rehearsal. If they did, that'd be so annoying. That would be so annoying. That was a lot of rotation, said Kareem. I don't think Sexy Red will be booked for any of ARW Pros or Baker Wrestling. Well, that's where you're going wrong, Carmen Life. Next time you see them, have a word and float it as an idea. Because, as we've said, like, she very much transcends music. If you want a championship match, you've got to earn it. #1 contenders match next week. Javon versus Wes versus Ethan Page. Randy in the corner, posing away. There we go, Randy Orton. How fun for Randy to be competing in such a small venue as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, how special for him to be in, like, a small venue like that. How great for us to be able to witness him wrestling in such a small venue like that. Really good. Really fun. Brilliant NXT. From start to finish. Really good stuff. That for me is one of the best NXTs of the year. Really enjoyed it. Daze, read Sonny's message. Good night, Tom. Good night, Tom. Tom, have a good night, buds. The community are wishing you a good night, and I would like to second that as well, buds. K-Dub said, I'm voting great because Randy on NXT against Javon was legit. Let's go. What a match can we get part 2? Oh, what a match can we get part 2? ARW will go, Pro will go to the National Guard Armory. Well, I'd tell him not to bother unless Sexy Red's there, but what a show. Congrats to Tony, Fraxiom, Randy, and Javon. Solid show, said Nita Nitro. Jake said, great NXT, but the best part had to be Sexy Reds. That's what Jake said there, look, and it's such a strong comment that I'm gonna highlight it for as long as it stays on screen. Jake Holden, I'm drawing attention, look to your comment as it goes. There it goes. Gone but not forgotten. Good night, Mr. Cardinal. Amin said, did you watch Rick and Morty before? I saw bits of Rick and Morty. It never quite grabbed me, to be honest. And I didn't watch those infomercials. I only saw a video about the infomercials, which then led me down that rabbit hole of seeing that title, which I just thought looked really cool. And they had a lot of praise for this infomercial one. I mean, like, as I said, this killer killing the characters and then replacing them in the intro is such an interesting idea. Such an interesting idea. Too many cooks. It's only 11 minutes. I want to see the other one where the woman gets stalked by herself because apparently it was for like some drugs that she was selling, you know, like not Rehypnol. I don't think she was selling that, but like, you know, those kind of medication adverts you get in America. She was doing one of those, and then like she sees herself starting to stalk her, and it becomes like this weird psychological thriller, even though it's an infomercial. And there's a website apparently, and what's crazy about the website is you can click on the house in the background, and every time you click, the house gets a little bit closer, and eventually you are literally like looking around the house. You're going into the rooms. It's just that, you know, one of those normal adverts that you would see in a magazine with like a family in front of a house, all smiley, and it's like Rehypnol, you know, start your day the right way or whatever. Well, if you click on the house gets bigger, and you can then start looking around the house. And the house, I think, is like empty rooms, and it's all like dark and twisted. And it's like, if you're into Wyatt 6 and you're into that stuff, I think you'd really like this rabbit hole. So, Adult Swim, infomercials, Too Many Cooks. I don't know what the other one's called. But look, here's one, the salad. Boom. The salad mixer is one there. I might watch this later, actually. The Strange Adult Swim Iceberg. That might be quite interesting. The Book of Jesus. I don't know which one that woman was. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is another one. And apparently Joker 2 is awful. Mainly because it's a musical and it's got lots of singing in it. So, there we go. This house has people in it. That must be the name of another one. Unedited footage of a bear. Oh my God, I so want to watch these. I'm so into this. This is right in my wheelhouse. Right. Days, when Mark comes down to me from Vancouver, he's going to get me a Smirnoff Ice. Well, he knows how to treat the women, doesn't he? Hey, that's exactly what women love. He's a smart cookie getting you a Smirnoff Ice. That is a quick way into a lady's heart. So he's going to get you a Smirnoff. The only thing I would say, though, is, Sonny, as a red-blooded male, me, not you, sometimes we do these things because we hope for things in return. So as a young lady, that is something you're going to have to bear in mind. If a gentleman visits you, takes you to the Cinemaplex, buys you a Smirnoff Ice, I'm just saying there might be motives. There might be reasons as to why he's doing that. I'm just putting it out there. Would you put out, Sonny? Would you put out? Tell us now in the community. We're all friends. We've known each other years. How would you feel? Has he got to do a bit, maybe 2 Smirnoff Ices, 3 Smirnoff Ices? What's he going to take? I mean, if he took you to Tim Hortons, it's a sealed deal. Even I know that. If he takes you to Tim Hortons, it's done, innit? He's getting the full show. Austin said, Daze would know. He invited me to his house, but only because you said that you were bringing the Smirnoff Ices. My house has got no one in it. My wife is personal training. Mitchell said, seriously, Sonny, buy condoms. Oh my God, I love this advice. What does that mean? We're planning on going to Tim Hortons. Oh my God. Oh my God. Bow, 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 wow. Bow, 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 wow. Oh yeah. Daze, I think I'm going to put this NXT into the prestigious 8 club. I really enjoyed it. Do you think NXT gets to the 8 club? I think it's knocking on the door. I think it's knocking on the door. Sonny's like, actually, I don't know if Sonny is saying or if she's saying AE-dub, but she just forgot the A. It might be that. Hey, she might be like AE-dub. She might be like a diehard Tony Khan fan. AE-dub, AE-dub, but the A doesn't work on the keypad. I'm not sure. They're going to be listening to Sexy Red. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is the sexiest thing. If Mark, honestly, we need to give Mark some tips here. If you want to get a young lady into bed, you put on a bit of Sexy Reds and you take her to Tim Hortons and you buy her a Smirnoff Ice. They literally teach this in primary school. You know, when you're on the YouTube homepage and you see Daze jerking his finger, you can't help but giggle, said Kipata. What, is that a video that's out there, is it? Is that a video that's out there? Maybe Mark is secretly Tony Khan. Well, we know that Tony Khan's got money, so he could certainly afford a Smirnoff Ice and a trip to Tim Hortons. So it is checking out so far, isn't it, in all fairness? All of that checks out. So I think you're right. Sam said you need to teach us the ways. Well, Sam, we've come to the end of the road, unfortunately. As much as I'd love to teach you about the wonders of seducing women, we're going to have to save that for another time. We're going to have to save it for another time. Days, I weirdly miss the PC crowds. While it's been refreshing for different crowds, it does feel like a piece of NXT is missing. What do you think? Oh, I don't know. I've loved it. Crowd was still making noise. I like being in a different venue. I suppose I'm used to being in the Performance Center, so I would want to go back eventually. But I don't know, man. It's nice being out and in different places. Seeing some different faces. Of course I'm going to be safe, says Sonny. Yeah, but are you putting out, Sonny? That was the question. What's it going to take? Will it Tim Hortons seal the deal? I mean, you know, I know he's got to be nice and everything, but let's say he is. Let's say he's nice. Let's say he's charming. Let's say he buys a Smirnoff Ice. Let's say that you go to Tim Hortons. What happens then? What happens then? Is it like, come back to mine, do you want a coffee? That's what you're saying, it. I've had a really great night. Do you want to come in, have a coffee, have a drink before you go? You know? Just anywhere you can get him in the house, really. Oh, my light doesn't work. Well, you look at it. Whatever. I don't know. And then he goes in and, you know, one thing leads to another. Sonny, I know Judo. He lives next door to me. Felix said, I need to get a girlfriend. Just get out there, mate. Get chatting. I tell you what, you ain't going to meet them sitting indoors watching wrestling, yeah? That's for us that have just given up on life. If you're like me and you've just flipping given up on life, then you can stay and watch wrestling. But if you've got dreams and hopes and ambitions, then I ain't got any idea why you're here. You should be off living your lives. I'm like the VP. A man tries anything. I have a Glock. Do you think pulling the trigger on Tony was the right decision? Well, yeah, because we need to get Femi to the main kind of level, don't we? I would imagine Oba will be the one that beats Trick. Kader said, slip something into the drink like Diddy. I'm not sure that getting advice from Diddy is the right way forward. I'm not ruling it out. I'm just saying. At the moment, from everything I've seen and the fallout of it, it doesn't strike me as, like, great advice going down the Diddy road. So I would say, let's call that Plan B. We'll call that Plan B. Sonny said, I ain't wanting any kids. Yeah, but there is a way of having a good time without having kids, mate. You know? God, have we got to go to those levels? Have we go? I didn't realise we needed to do full sex education. Jesus. This is a lot of pressure to put on me, you know. There's a lot of people that find these conversations awkward. It's not me. I flipping love them. But we're not going to do that now. I need to go. I've got 10 hours of notifications to work my way through. Do you know what I mean? I think I've got like about 1,000 people asking me to wish them a happy birthday. I need to go off and do that. So listen, thank you for joining us. As always, it was a treat to be here with you, and it always is. And I will be here with you again on Friday for SmackDown. And I'm not here with you on Saturday. I know. I'm out. I think it's my final outing for the year. I have no other plans to go out this year, but I'm out on Saturday in Birmingham with my family. And so I am unfortunately not around. So, but there is no wrestling. There probably is a UFC show, but it'll only be a fight night. But yeah, I'm back Friday. So thanks for joining us. Appreciate the support, and I will